10:01, good morning from the Circa Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. Argentina are through to the FIFA World Cup final after more late-game heroics, coming back from down 1-0 with an 85th-minute equalizer and a stoppage-time winner for the 2-1 victory over England, both goals assisted by one Lionel Messi. England's 60-year World Cup drought continues. They'll face France Saturday in the third-place game. Argentina survives again. They will play Spain on Sunday afternoon in the final, looking to be the first repeat World Cup champion since 1962. In NFL news, the Saints and running back Alvin Kamara have agreed to a one-year deal worth $6 million, up to $8.5 million for the former Vol, keeping him in New Orleans this season. Kamara will turn 31 later this month. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
They did it again. They can't keep getting away with it. They didn't even get away with it yesterday. They just flat out won. Argentina. I want to hate them. Lucas was talking about this morning before, or as we were walking into the studio, you said what of Argentina?
I forgot.
It was 5 minutes ago. You said you can't hate them.
Oh, I've hated Argentina my entire life.
Okay, I'm new to this.
I've hated them
because I want to
life.
hate them, but I think I just hate FIFA.
Well, Argentina and Brazil hate each other in every facet of everything. So I've been raised to hate the country of Argentina. And there are a lot of reasons to hate Argentina, believe me. But this team specifically, I'm starting to have a hard time hating them because of the way that they just keep finding a way. And I saw Craig Burley of ESPN FC say this. This is the World Cup. It's life and death for every player. It's the biggest moment in every player's lives, careers, so on. But yet still, it feels like Argentina somehow won it more than everybody they're playing against. And here they are in the final once again after yet another epic comeback.
So I'm not happy about it, but we'll talk about it later. I am so looking forward to seeing Spain and Argentina in the final. And we can break that down later on in the show. 615-737-1045 is the number if you want to jump in. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch is how you jump in. It's bowling day.
Bowling day.
Bowling day.
Bowling day.
Bowling day. Come on. Bowling day.
Riker.
Yes. Josh Pate, I was talking to Josh Pate about the bowling event. He said if he didn't have a show, he would be out there. And he said he would spare us the devastation of his bowling game.
Sounds like my father at my sporting events when I was a child. I would be there if I didn't have something better to do. I'm sure you're great at basketball, son, but Daddy's got to mow a few yards.
I just thought it funny that he had to work the spare joke in there. I'll spare all of you.
Oh.
You're very cute. You look like one. You look like a pin.
God, he would be the buffest pin. Josh Pate would be the hardest pin to knock over.
You bowl it, you hit the Pate pin, the ball splits like it's in Flintstones.
Yeah, just like in half.
God almighty. Oh, we probably need to talk to Pate at some point. I was on the phone with him yesterday, Lucas. We were talking about some other stuff, and he said he's TBD on SEC Media Days, which is right around the corner.
Monday.
But, I think he will likely make an appearance down there, and so we'll pivot to some college football discussion in earnest next week. But in the meantime, Argentina does it again. And I think when you talk about Messi and, you know, the shot yesterday of Messi staring down Jude Bellingham. And I saw it described by somebody on Twitter. I sent it to the group as the most, all right, MFer face.
Like, okay.
Okay. You want to talk? Let's see you talk. Now, he didn't score yesterday, Messi, but he was a huge part of what they were able to accomplish. England, man. Let's check in on England, can we? Where is this show being hosted?
So this is just English sports talk radio.
Yes.
It is a network. I'd be lying if I said I knew the sports talk landscape there very well. But it's a media company called Talk Sport, a massive media company.
Talk Sport.
And this is Talk Sport coverage today, this morning, after England's collapse in the World Cup semifinal.
You can almost accept it.
I know.
You're playing against Argentina.
Yeah.
You can't sit off for 25 minutes against Argentina. He absolutely bottled it. Thomas Tuchel's cost us the World Cup. He cost us the World Cup. We're 1-0 up. played well first half. All right, cagey affair. We go 1-0 up. Be brave. Be brave, Thomas. This is what we brought you in for. We brought you in for this moment. We got rid of Southgate because he bottled it, because he weren't brave. We brought you in for now to make that decision. We're 1-0 up in a World Cup semi-final. Bring on Rashford. Bring on Saka. And if they score, they score. But at least we're going to go down fighting. At least we're going to go down with some pride. We fell out of the World Cup in disgrace because of him. Because of him. And we brought him in for this job. This is what we brought him in for, to get us over this line. And it's the same old England, same old crap, same old guff that I have to watch every tournament that we're in. And it's the manager's tucked us up again. Tucked us up. We're dead on our feet. Got Morgan Rogers playing right wing, Jude Bellingham on the left. Brings on Nico Riley. We can't get out. Harry Kane's done nothing. He's dead. Nothing. Got nothing left.
I don't.
I can't believe it, Jace.
Well, no,
Jace, I can't believe it.
No,
it's a disgrace. He should be sacked. Get him out. Gone.
I totally agree.
This Jace guy. That Jace guy next to him is just like, okay, bud.
Just the devastation, man. You can hear it. Just, all
right.
Hang on. This is me to Thomas the Tank Engine as a child.
Be brave. Be brave, Thomas.
You can do it. They don't believe in you, but I believe in you.
I want to steal, among the only things that I think I want to steal from the English lexicon regarding sports, be brave.
Or sacked. I like sacked for when a coach gets fired.
The manager's tucked us up. What is? Can I get an Urban Dictionary reading of tucked us up? It's probably a totally different meaning in America.
But he's correct. That's what happened. I was texting Robert in real time. And talk about an oh no moment, England takes the lead. First half is just cagey, right? Neither team is really playing, soccer, for lack of a better way of putting it. Like, it's just cagey. They're both kind of trying to assert themselves. Argentina seems more interested in talking smack and in fouling English players than in actually trying to go forward and score. And then England breaks through in the 55th minute, and they have the momentum. And moments after that goal, Anthony Gordon, the player who scores that goal, gets subbed off, and it's a defensive substitution. And I said, oh, no. And I texted Robert, said, they're not going to win this game 1-0. That's not going to happen. And to sit back, essentially hand the ball to Argentina and dare them to break England down and just bunker down behind the ball for 30-plus minutes is an insane approach by Thomas Tuchel in that moment. He rightfully is getting dragged by British media at the moment.
Tucked up, the Urban Dictionary reading.
Tucked up.
To be tucked up is to be outwitted, conned, or otherwise beaten in a cunning or sly way.
Tucked up.
You got it.
Fair enough. I just don't know how cunning and sly it is, because Argentina said, okay, thank you. That works. We'll just rain hell down upon you for the next 25 minutes.
Yes, thank you.
I even asked Lucas, because I am interested about the strategy of these things. And I said, is there any thought for Argentina to, let England possess so they stop turtling up around goal, so they spread back out and maybe you can win a ball and get them, on
a counterattack?
Thank you. I was looking for the soccerific phrase for that. And he was like, no, why, they don't need to do that because they're living around the goal. Lucas you could do that, but England's probably just going to stay shelled up.
And that's what they did to their own detriment. And Lionel Messi. What more can you say?
Imagine doing that team, that player, a favor. A tactical favor.
I mean, it's just embarrassing. And then
it's never coming home.
No, it never. It's death taxes and England choking disastrously in major tournaments. And what hurts for them is how close they've gotten. Because there was a golden generation of English players with Beckham and Rooney and Lampard and Scholes and on and on and on that could never even sniff a semifinal for so long. But this generation has now reached 2 semifinals and 2 finals at either a World Cup or a Euros within the last decade. And they've taken leads in almost all of those games. In all of those games. And they've blown them. In the 2018 World Cup semifinal, the Euro final in 2020 and 2024, and yesterday. And this one probably is the most bitter pill to swallow, because this is the one that it feels like they most just turtled and shriveled and tried to hold on to the rope for dear life. And when Lionel Messi is on the other side of that rope, and that's your approach, good luck, even at the age of 39.
615-737-1045, the number. If you want to jump in, you can do just that. You can also interact with the show via the F&M Bank chat, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch is where the show is live streamed, where Jordan on YouTube says, England are the Dallas Cowboys in the World Cup. I think that's doing a service to the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas, when was the last NFC Championship game Dallas played in?
90s, right?
It's been a minute.
Yeah. England is at least competing in semifinals.
No, that's the most apt comparison, easily.
No,
Huge brand, but chokes?
It's not.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's not.
Okay, our World Cup correspondent. We sent you. How was your time at Neighbors in Murfreesboro yesterday?
It was fantastic. I've never been to that Neighbors location before. Huge building. Like, there, you would think, like, oh, packed out, and it was, but it wasn't like you were fighting people for space.
Yeah, that's nice.
They're also building, like, an outside patio that's going to be done next week. It'll be running all football season. It would be a great place to watch a game. Great food, great drinks. It was a killer environment.
I like that all their locations are different. Like, I like the dive bar in Sylvan Park vibes. I like the
Gulch area is cool, too.
The Gulch one is a great spot to watch a game.
Like, if you're going to get a beer and be cool with standing, like, and sometimes I want to stand and watch games. I don't want to sit at a table and get really hunched over and watch it. I want to stand.
It's a good game, yeah, if it's good energy.
But there were a bunch of fans there from both sides.
Oh, dude. And that was probably my favorite part. I was probably people watching just as much as I was watching the game. English fans were so proud. So proud to go up. And every goalie save, every missed kick, every missed opportunity from Argentina, they were puffing their chests out.
They
celebrating like they were goals.
They
for sure.
were so. I told Lucas, the goalie looked like the bad guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
He's a psycho, yeah.
He looks like a maniac.
Yeah,
he
have
is.
to be.
But Argentina fans sat pat. They weren't getting rowdy.
We've seen this before, yeah.
They evened it. Place comes unglued naturally. Then they score in like the 95th, 96th minute, and the place, they were standing on chairs. They were doing taunts. They were like, it was basically like if like Florida Gators fans were up, they were doing whatever what is this dance? This dance that they do.
I don't know.
I love it so much. Everyone in there standing, if you're an Argentina fan, you're in there doing their dance on the chairs.
Like a more extreme 6'7"?
Dude, it's the heavy 6'7".
Yeah, arms straight out. Up and down.
It was a lot. But they were compared to the Dallas Cowboys. Unfortunately, that is not the most apt comparison.
Do tell.
England is the John Harbaugh Ravens.
Oh.
Because how many leads? I mean,
That's very self-aware.
We've all seen the graphics. I mean, I've lived it. I mean, how many times do the Ravens feel square and pat in the winner's circle, done with it, games at hand, and then all of a sudden, they score. It's a 3-point game. 15 seconds left. The other team has the ball, and they kick a field goal to win it.
Disaster strikes.
England is the John Harbaugh Ravens, unfortunately.
I don't have a rooting interest in either team, and my heart was like in my throat at the end of this game. I was nervous watching this game.
If you are a fan of sports and the drama of sports, and honestly, my favorite feeling when I'm at a sporting event, that I'm not working. It's a little different if I'm working. Sometimes, though, you do get this bump, for lack of a better term, is the fear. The fear when Miami has the ball and Carson Beck is driving, and you're in a one-score game in a national championship, and you feel pretty good about the way that things have gone in the national championship game, and you don't feel any strong level of confidence that Carson Beck is going to be the guy to kill you. But that fear that you feel until he throws the interception and then you're overjoyed is like that extreme ebb and flow of emotion is my favorite thing in sports. It makes you feel alive, right? Because you got to be a little scared before you can come back to life.
And for an opportunity that only happens every 4 years. And you don't know, if your nation will be back in that spot, or if you will be back in that spot, right? If you will be at a point in your career.
4 years from now.
4 years from now, right? And so it's part of why I have loved this tournament so much my whole life and have been thrilled to see other people hop along this summer, because it's the weight of a nation. It's an opportunity that happens so far and few between for these players, and you can just feel that in these moments, how heavy that weight is. And what it means to somebody like Lionel Messi and the emotion that pours out of him when he collapses onto the field after the final whistle. And it's just inevitable. And yes, England gave Argentina every opportunity to do the inevitable. and they do it yet again. At no point in this tournament have Argentina, or excuse me, not in this tournament, in the knockout rounds, have Argentina led after the 90-minute mark, after the clock hits 90 minutes. That's insane. Also,
I'm aware.
Shout out to, yeah, I know you are. Shout out to Cabo Verde, who played both teams in this final to a draw after 90 minutes in both Spain and Argentina.
The headline internationally, I'm reading the international version of The Athletic this morning.
What is that called? Is it just The Athletic?
The Athletic.
Oh, I don't like that. They should
But
come
they
up with
use
their own
different.
word.
They use, they use their version of English as opposed to our version of English when they write.
It's the same company. It's just covering different things. Yeah.
So there's like two C's. It's like Athletica or something.
I think you're thinking too much about this. I'm talking about the way that the article itself is written.
What's the headline?
Reads different. Well, that's what I was getting to.
Okay,
Thomas Tuchel, who is the English manager, is guilty of orchestrating England's craven World Cup demise.
Incredible.
Especially, and again, what I know of Thomas Tuchel and his approach and his skill as a manager is simply by reading and watching this World Cup, okay? So I don't have an intimate level of familiarity, but the way that this thing reads, the logic of the Football Association appointing Thomas Tuchel in 2024 was that he was a knockout specialist, a tactical wizard, someone whose clever bespoke plans for what's bespoke mean, Robert?
Bespoke?
Yeah. B-E-S-P-O-K.
You use the sentence again?
Someone whose clever, bespoke plans for every occasion would give England the best possible chance of winning the World Cup.
So bespoke is like a tailor-made thing.
Custom.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like you a lot of these suit companies that do custom suits, bespoke. That's what they're called.
Ah.
So, all the things that it's kind of like reading something about Brian Callahan when he was hired and then Brian Callahan when he was fired. This offensive wizard, guru, guy who's going to take Will Levis to the next level. No. He's going to take Cam Ward to the next level. No. He's going to let Cam Ward call the first red zone play of his first NFL career because he didn't have the spine to tell the rookie quarterback, no, you run this in this spot. This is what we're doing here, young man.
And then Argentina after the game, did you see this? Some of the players unfurling kind of a small banner that translate to the Falklands are Argentina's, talking about the Falkland Islands and a war that happened in the early 80s. So it's just how deep-seated this stuff is. And, man, those are the moments that you live for right there. The last 15 minutes of that game, it's just everything you could possibly want in a moment with stakes like that. And Thomas Tuchel was defiant after the game, by the way. Do we have this, Robert? Thomas Tuchel.
That also sounds like Callahan in Denver.
Mm-hmm. Thomas Tuchel, or Callahan when being asked about giving up play calling. Thomas Tuchel speaking with Fox after England's disastrous meltdown yesterday.
You've made defensive substitutions in the past couple of matches when we have gone ahead in a game. You did the same again today. Why do you feel they didn't work today?
Yeah, I did also offensive substitutions in the last games. We just tried to help the player. We conceded straight away. We decided to go to a back five because the gaps were far too open. They won every header. They kept crossing and crossing. So we went to a back five to close the gaps inside and be stronger in the air because straight after our goal with no substitution, we just conceded way too many crosses and way too many chances. So we tried to help, but of course the responsibility is on the coach. And if it doesn't go wrong, it's easy to say that it was. If it doesn't go well, it's easy to say that it was wrong.
That's an interesting conversation though, because it's well, if he goes for it and gets it, he's a genius. If he doesn't, he's a moron.
Be brave, Thomas.
Yeah, right. But I don't know. I have such a hard time killing him for that answer. As somebody who's been in those press conferences with coaches who have made errors before. Because Lucas, if you are Thomas Tuchel and everything about you is that you are strong from a tactical standpoint, like that's your cheat code, right? Doesn't mean that you can't make a mistake and that it can't blow up in your face. This was a pretty big one that blew up in his face, and everybody's killing him today. But I don't want a coach that's second-guessing it after the fact either.
Sure, fair enough.
You know,
I mean, there's
like-
nothing he can say post game that will appease anybody.
Right? I mean, you're gonna get killed. You know it, and he's self-aware, right? He's saying, of course, the responsibility falls on the manager, and I'll wear that.
He's been coaching in Europe a long time.
So he gets it. But if I'm a fan, I'm not satisfied, or at least I wouldn't want to hear from my coach, yeah, I did the wrong thing. That's on me. Like the Kim Caldwell stuff. Kim Caldwell felt a little bit like this, where she's getting up at the podium and be like, I started second-guessing myself.
Yeah,
I started doing things that are totally
it's
different.
almost a worse red flag.
I started playing, that to me is like, okay, what the hell happened here? They don't need to be obstinate. Like Callahan in Denver, when Terry McCormick asked him about the rule and he was like defiant about the rule.
Yeah, defiantly wrong.
That loud wrong, right? Like you couldn't be more loud wrong in front of cameras and microphones. Bad look. What Tuchel is doing there, and again, I'm not justifying his tactical decision. I would rather have a coach who came in with a plan, went to execute the plan, and the plan simply didn't work on that day.
Sure. But it's not even a hindsight thing, though.
Yeah.
It's something that in the moment, England fans and fans in general.
Everybody felt like they knew.
Yeah, just watching that happen said, no, keep playing. You have elite attacking talent on the bench. And then England looks silly when they concede to go down 2-1. And suddenly 5 minutes into added time, they're putting that elite attacking talent onto the field. And Marcus Rashford's getting subbed on and they're chasing. Oh, it's just a dreadful, dreadful way for England to go out, death taxes, and it not coming home.
Ever. 615-737-1045. We're going to go from World Cup to a little bit of college football discussion. We're previewing prospects that you need to know ahead of the college football season on The Install with Greg Cosell. Today, we talked a lot about some defensive line prospects that you need to know in the SEC. I'm Buck Rising, 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, guys, it's Lucas, and you know it makes me so sad that this summer of international soccer is slowly drawing to a close. But we're going to finish it out with a bang. Robert, Buck, and myself will be at the brand new Hattie B's location in East Nashville, taking in the final between Spain and Argentina. 2 p.m. is the kickoff. And you may be thinking, Hattie B's? Okay, I didn't know Hattie B's had that sports bar vibe. Oh, it does, on Gallatin Ave in East Nashville. You walk in, and it's the restaurant, like you know most other Hattie B's locations, and then you keep walking, and there's an incredible middle part of the space that has bocce ball, cornhole, almost a beer garden area outside, umbrellas for shade to hang out, and then behind that, an incredible event space hangar area with TVs, couches, tables, a pool table, arcade games, and just a spot to lounge, hang out, watch the game, and enjoy the best hot chicken with the best sides in the world. You can download the Hattie B's app today. Start to build up those rewards if you want to order ahead for pickup and go to Hattie B's Hot Chicken.
Why are you being difficult? Why are you being difficult?
Who?
Don't hem and haw about it. Why are you being difficult?
I'm not. I don't think that I'm being difficult.
Mm-hmm. That's what I say every
He
time I
doesn't
walk
want to see
in
the
here.
movie. If he doesn't want to see the movie, then
No, it's not that I don't want to see the movie. It's that I think you guys care more. Not you guys. I would say specifically your party. Like Jay and Blue, Lucas's friends that are going with you guys to see the Odyssey next Monday.
Yep.
Are more invested in Greek mythology and the Odyssey, the Iliad, like all of those aspects of it than I am. And I don't want to be expected to also care so much. I think it's going to be an incredible movie.
There is no expectation.
Love Christopher Nolan. I love Greek mythology, but I also don't have it tattooed on my body.
You don't
so
have to.
I don't have to.
What are you talking about?
Jay loves Greek mythology so much
Did you know that?
that
Oh,
it's
yeah.
tattooed on his body.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's more of a Roman Empire
I don't
guy,
think
but-
that I can keep up with that.
That's okay. Just let him talk.
Yeah, we're just going to enjoy the movie. I can't. Nobody can keep up.
It's like
with
when you do
that.
draft. We just sit there and let you go, bud.
Yeah, we're just going to go enjoy a movie, a cinematic achievement.
I haven't seen an IMAX movie in I don't know how long.
I haven't seen a bad Christopher Nolan movie in
Ever.
I don't know how long.
I don't think I've seen an IMAX movie since March of the Penguins.
What a great one to go to. I bet that was
no, but I think that might be the last one I saw
It's
too.
the
Right
first one I
around
saw
there.
too. Yeah, I've never gone to a movie in legit IMAX, and the Opry Mills Theater is one of like 24 actual 70 millimeter IMAX theaters in America, and that's what this movie was entirely shot in. So I cannot wait.
It's been at least since high school since I've seen a movie in IMAX.
I can't wait. I haven't been this excited for a movie, and just for the spectacle.
You're talking about one person. I don't know how many people are going with us on Monday.
Oh, there's a crew of like 7 people,
Oh,
like 8
well,
people.
okay. Well, I'm assuming all of them are not,
We're just going to enjoy a movie.
are Homer buffs.
Can
okay?
we go dress up then? Can we dress up as
you
like
want to?
Roman soldiers or something? Or like wear togas?
I'm not opposed.
Can yours be ill-fitting?
Yes. Oh, mine will look like a bed sheet because that's exactly what it'll be.
I'll buy the Trojan horse popcorn bucket. Like, I'm all in.
It's massive.
Don't take it into your house.
By the way, the popcorn bucket epidemic, like people will find anything to spend their money on, and as soon as we give them an inkling, they're like, "Oh yeah, every single movie that comes out needs its own popcorn bucket."
Aren't you the reason why things are done like this? You're a collector of things.
Be that as it may.
Okay.
I
just want to make sure because I called you the other day when I was in the Nashville airport. I go, why the hell are there Pokemon trading card machines in every airport I've been in the last 3 months?
Because kids love them and their parents will pay 3 times the price for them.
Not just kids. Not just kids.
If there
You're
are
telling me you haven't bought a pack of cards in an airport?
No, they're so high. And then how would you keep them from getting bent? I would
that's
never
fair.
do that. I would
How long
only
is
buy
this
them where
movie?
I could open them at
It's
home.
supposed to be damn near 3 hours, Lucas.
Oh, yeah.
It is going to be.
173 minutes.
What time is the movie?
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head, 7 or something. If there are still tickets available, Robert, for Monday, I would love for you to
Yeah,
come
why
with
would
us.
you not
Okay,
go?
I'll check it out. I'll look. You tell me what time the tickets are. I
Okay.
will buy. Are you guys going to be mad if I sit in a handicap seat? I could be the Trojan horse. If I'm in a wheelchair, we could dress me up like the Trojan horse.
Trojan horse Robert into the movie.
You're gonna farm it out to callers again. We had multiple people who need a wheelchair who are offering you their wheelchair.
We
If they were going
For
to be
your
at home,
grift.
they didn't need it.
For your
7 p.m. Monday.
Okay. Well, don't tell people now. Everybody's going to go buy the tickets, so I can't go.
you better hurry.
do it now.
Uh,
You asked me.
Okay, before we move on,
We're literally gonna play Cosell. You have time to buy the tickets.
How
here.
long is Cosell? Should we just play it next? I mean, at this point, I didn't watch the ESPYs. We've got ESPYs highlights in here. I watched like 2 seconds of it.
all right,
I
let's
just
talk
saw what I saw on Twitter.
Well, what you saw on Twitter was probably before we do that. Hold on, you talked about March of the Penguins.
Yep.
Did you guys ever see you guys know superhero movie, scary movie, like the spoof movies?
Sure, yeah.
Did you ever see the Penguin spoof movie?
No.
The Penguin spoof movie. So it's like a documentary style spoof.
Yes.
No.
With any actor you can think of. It was called Farce of the Penguins.
No.
It was narrated by Samuel L. Jackson.
No way.
Bob Saget, Lewis Black, Tracy Morgan, Larry the Cable
Shut
Guy.
up.
No way.
Dude, look
What
it up.
year?
2006.
Oh yeah, that would have
I
been
missed
out of my
that.
range for something like that.
It is the perfect
How old
delirium.
were we in 2006? Like 6th grade?
Yes,
fifth grade.
I mean, I graduated high school in 2012. So
I got to
yes.
find a way to watch
Me too.
this.
Dude,
Yeah.
Farce of the Penguin. You can rent or buy it on Amazon, or you can go through less legal means if you need to, because I'm sure there's a torrent of it somewhere.
I gotta watch
but
that.
Not
it
that you're
is-
recommending it.
It is the perfect 1:30 in the morning, like delirious with your friends movie.
Like a Combine.
Like Black Dynamite. Like when me and Lucas watched Black Dynamite and I fell asleep on the couch.
So good.
It's so stinking good.
I will not get over watching Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
At like 2:30 in the morning.
You two and Kirby at 2:30 in the morning after a night out of the Combine bars, and then the Lobster Fest commercial coming up in the middle of a very problematic part of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Or what was Lobster Fest in the middle of something different?
No, it was that. It was it was like maybe when John Goodman stomps on the frog that they think is their like.
Oh, I thought it was
then
like
straight
one of
into
the
Lobster
ends.
Fest.
I thought it was one of the end scenes where it's like that haunted prison guard figure.
Oh yes, that's exactly what it was.
Where they're singing the old kind of like a slave song type of situation.
It fades to black, and then all of a sudden, Lobster Fest.
No buffer.
So aggressive.
I did not watch the ESPYs. Do people still watch the
No.
ESPYs? But I did watch.
Like
Your boy
baseball.
was the host.
I used to Marcelo Hernandez.
Well, that's the only reason I thought you might be into this thing because I didn't
know it was on and that he was hosting until I threw the TV on and it was happening yesterday.
One day, because I feel like we're like that ABC 7 reporter around the World Cup talking about Bosnia and Herzegovina with the ESPYs and baseball. Just like, yeah, whatever. I don't care about it. So I don't want to be so blatantly ignorant. We probably should know what's going on generally in baseball and what happened at the ESPYs because it is a thing that people in sports participate in. But so I was not familiar. I didn't recognize the guy who hosted last night, but I recognize the name because I know you talk about him on SNL.
Saturday Night Live. Yeah,
And
Marcelo Hernandez.
he did a skit that I thought was a pretty good idea. I didn't watch the whole thing. It didn't keep me for the whole thing, but he was doing a skit where he was a flopping coach. So he was giving pointers to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and
Oh, nice.
any number of World Cup players.
Yeah, yeah.
Balogun was in it.
Nice. That's funny.
Bam Adebayo was in it, like giving pointers. He was the flopping coach.
Nice. Okay. All right. I mean, I saw some of the winners coming out. Nothing really with local ties. I did watch the first episode of Quarterback last night. Got around to it.
Okay.
And I don't know if the audience could hear that. Robert just yelled.
Did I just hear you through the soundproof glass scream at the top of your lungs, $37?
I thought my mic was off.
70 millimeter IMAX, baby. You're paying for the experience.
Did you Venmo me for that, by the way?
No.
You already bought the tickets? You bought the tickets?
No, I bought.
No, he bought the tickets.
Yes. We did this in here with you in there and tried to get you a part of it.
Nobody listens.
You refused.
I just don't like being told to.
I know. It was one of those things where, like, come on, man, it's going to be awesome. And you were, no. Like, the more we tried to tell you, encourage you to do it,
Robert,
the more you didn't want to do it.
Somebody in the chat just said, "Oh, brother, we're out there" is inspired by the Odyssey,
It is.
which I
Yes.
knew, but I had forgotten.
It is.
Of course.
But
Thank you, someone in the chat.
I will continue to watch the quarterback series because Cam Ward is very funny. And I can't tell if he's intentionally or unintentionally funny. But he's cracking me up, man. Like... He is legitimately a hilarious human being in just the, I don't know, like blasé attitude that he has about everything, but also so locked in. One of the first scenes in Quarterback, he's walking around his room, his childhood room, and he has a giant blown up, like what they call big head posters or whatever of Kobe Bryant.
Fathead.
Fathead, thank you, of Kobe Bryant. And Cam says something along the lines of it's so like deadpan and dry. Like Kobe, I think probably one of the greatest athletes of all time, where it's him at the top and then probably me. He just kind of like layers that in there and then just goes. That's not verbatim, but
I saw that. I saw that clip or that quote.
It cracked me up, man. I'm going to keep watching. It's good. Like, I think Cam, obviously I'm biased, but I do think he's the most interesting in there. It's him, Jaden, Joe Flacco, and Baker.
I heard the Jaden Daniels part is the most annoying.
It's cringy. Yeah. It's like
Is it just his mom? Like,
yeah,
is that the
it's
cringy
very
part?
focused on his mom, who's his agent, his business manager, and all of that. So that's probably the least interesting. I think it's, Cam to me, though, is he's keeping me for this ride.
Okay.
And the interactions with Callahan. Cam's like bossing around Brian Callahan in the Broncos game, in his first career NFL game.
I know. We just talked about that red zone sequence.
Yeah, he like comes over to the sideline. He's like, hey, quicker. I need it quicker. Get it out quicker. So it's good stuff.
All right, I bought it.
Hey, let's go.
Are you in the handicap space?
I don't think that's any of your business.
Can't wait, man. I'm so excited.
That'll be fun on Monday. So we said we're going to play a portion of the install. We will do that coming up next. Well, to hear Cosell tell it, there's a new most important position in the NFL on defense. With the way that NFL defenses are evolving, college coaches are taking note of that. Players are as athletic along the defensive line as they've ever been, and we've seen a shift in the way that coaches are scheming. Defense, it feels like, has really advanced beyond offense in the last couple of years with the ways that defensive coordinators are able to get creative in how they scheme. It's certainly taking away the explosive play opportunities, and we've seen that happen to a number of teams on offense, least of which is the Kansas City Chiefs. So Cosell and I were talking about the new most important position in the NFL on defense today, and that is the interior defensive line. Welcome into the install with Greg Cosell of NFL Films. It's July 16th. The Titans and many other NFL teams report to training camp in less than 2 weeks from now. It is football season it's always football season for Greg Cosell. That's the main man. Of course, we're happy to have you on the podcast. We've been talking about college prospects, though, Greg, because in your downtime, you like to get caught up on your draft studies.
Yeah, you know what I love to do, and I'm starting to turn to the NFL. You know, I've been jumping back and forth now because I want to get back into the NFL mode and get an opportunity to really study some things in detail before the season starts. But you know, once the draft ends, which of course is the end of April, I'm still sort of in college mode, Buck. So I end up watching players who'll be in next year's draft. Now, not everyone I watch will be, but I say 80 to 85% of the guys that I end up watching will be in the next year's draft. And I sort of been grinding away doing that. I probably watched about 90 guys. And certain things, you know how I do it. Obviously, you're watching a player and seeing his traits and attributes, but I'm constantly thinking about the NFL and the evolution of the NFL, and therefore the players I watch, how they fit in the league. Because you know, there are very few transcendent players. There's very few superstars. There's a lot of guys, and particularly on the defensive side of the ball, you know, they might play 30 or 35 snaps a game, not 65 or 70. But you know what? Those 35 snaps are damn important. So, you know, there's a lot of players who play on defense. And, I've really become sort of fascinated. Two things I've become fascinated by: defense, and this past weekend, I was at the O-line Masterminds in Dallas, in Frisco, Texas, actually, and I've become so fascinated with O-line play because it's such an academic, intellectual position. And we could do a whole show on that. We won't do that today, but maybe down the road we'll do something on that because I'm blown away. I took multiple pages of notes, which I do every year that I'm there, and I just find it incredibly fascinating.
Well, and I love that you bring it up because, and I don't want to put all football watchers, football fans, football media like me into a bucket, but I feel like a lot of times we are so reductive with the way that we talk about offensive line play in particular, and even defensive line play. Like you just look at the big uglies, for lack of a better term, and you say, okay, well, one guy beat the other guy, and one guy's good and one guy's bad. Type stuff. And Greg, when you go to these things and I see the detail of your notes and stuff like that, and also talking to players over the course of years, like I imagine so few people would associate the position group of offensive line with the word academic.
It is. I mean, I don't want to say, look, I'm trying to learn more and more. And obviously Duke Manyweather, who I'm sure you probably even talked to him. He puts it all together. Elaine Johnson's a major part of it. I've gotten to know Elaine. They do such an incredible job, and they certainly know more about offensive line play than I do. And I'm trying to learn and learn and learn. But it's just fascinating to me how detailed and how nuanced it is and how calculated it is. It's like you said, it's not just, hey, knock that guy's, what in the dirt. That's not what it's about, and it just, to me, because football to me is really an academic, intellectual game. I don't want to equate it specifically to a sport like boxing, but boxing is not just swing wildly and hope you hit the guy in the jaw. That's why they call it the sweet science. I mean, all this stuff, there's a science to it. It's academic, it's intellectual, and O-line play is fascinating for this. I don't want to say for only one reason, but keep in mind, obviously athletes are getting better at all positions, but keep in mind that O-linemen are still, relative to the people that they're blocking, they're still lesser athletes. And the way that defenses now play, where they take like a Micah Parsons and they move him inside so he's working against a guard or a center, you're dealing with better athletes. So these guys have to be so precise and so calculated in their foot movement, in their hand movement, their hand placement. It's not just, oh, let me go try to knock him down. It's not like that at all.
Well, and that's a good way for us to transition into some of these college defensive prospects, Greg, and in particular a defensive line group that I don't know, and you may, it's probably premature to make any kind of assessment, but to say that there's a Jeffrey Simmons type player in this class is probably not accurate, but there are so many fun players, and I think a lot of depth from what I've read on the position.
Yes.
That you have the potential to see a lot of these defensive line units in really a few condensed pockets in college football. Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Miami's always going to have studs.
Yes.
I know you've been watching a bunch of these dudes.
It's a really strong D tackle class in my view. Again, based on tape study from the 2025 tape. Obviously, they have 2026 to play, but what really stands out to me is you're seeing players that are just far more athletic than they used to be. And I'm talking about 320-pound guys. We're not talking about 270-pound guys. So you're dealing with guys that are both strong and athletic. I think that the D tackle position, which has rarely been, with few exceptions, obviously when there's an Aaron Donald, we get excited. There's certain guys, Sexy Dexy, Dexter Lawrence, we get excited about him. There's certain guys we get excited about. Jeffrey Simmons, who is arguably the best defensive tackle in the NFL, and is such a dominant force, almost snap after snap. But the way the league has somewhat moved in terms of defense overall, there's a lot more what we call quarters structure, meaning that the safeties are back minimum 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, in what we call two high shell structure. It's not like the old Seattle Seahawks, for instance, when they played that cover three and Cam Chancellor was always basically in the box or just outside the box, but he was a second level defender. Now safeties are third level defenders. So think about what that means. And I don't think this is too complicated at all. I think it's pretty clear. So that means a safety is not an immediate gap defender at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because he's 10 yards minimum off the ball. So now what has to happen? Your D tackles have to be really, really good, strong run defenders. Think of the Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks, who played a ton of two high shell. That was their foundation with their safeties. What did they have at D tackle? Byron Murphy, who is close to Simmons in terms of just being a strong interior player. Leonard Williams, Jaron Reed. Think about the teams. The Eagles have been one of the best defenses the last 2 years in the Vic Fangio school of defense, where it's predominantly two high safeties. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. Jordan Davis had his finest year this past year. So D tackles, I spoke with a coach from the Fangio school this past week, and he made the point that D tackle may be the most important position if you're going to play a high percentage of two high shell coverage. And, we don't normally think of D tackle as a glamour position on defense. We think of edge pass rushers and we think of corners. But the way the game is evolving, D tackles are becoming so critically important.
And I know that there's a lot of conversation, obviously, here talking about Robert Saleh, Gus Bradley, their defensive coaching staff coming over to Tennessee and their work with Jeffrey Simmons. That was kind of the hope, right, Greg? A different defensive style when they drafted Tavondre Sweat, who had athletic upside, but obviously we'll see what happens in New York. Drafted into a different system. John Franklin Myers comes in here to play that 43 defense that Robert Saleh prefers. Obviously, they're going to rely on highly athletic defensive interior linemen, and their plan, right, is 8 or 9 guys deep. You mentioned the Eagles.
Yeah.
The best version of those Eagles defenses were platooning that defensive line.
I mean, being there at the minicamp, the mandatory minicamp a month ago, I was blown away by the size of all these players on the defensive line. I know you've seen it as well. And again, even though Saleh is not necessarily a Fangio disciple, in fact, his approach is 180 degree different when you think about coverage. but he does play a lot of two high shell, and everything for Robert Saleh starts with the defensive front. And they want to be able to go 8 or 9 deep. They're not just playing four guys. And they want to be able to. Now we know Jeffrey Simmons, is probably not going to come off the field very much. He may be the only guy that doesn't come off the field a lot. Although I think Franklin Myers, with his ability to play both inside and outside, could be in that category as well. But it's a lot of teams now have a deep rotation at D line. But when you look, I mean, I mentioned Seattle a moment ago. You watch their defense, and as I said, they play a ton of two high shell. So those D tackles they're just dominant forces inside, and it's very, very hard to run the ball against that team.
So, IndyCar driver Will Power will join us in studio coming up next.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
11 o'clock. Good morning from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Lucas Panzica. Argentina are through to the FIFA World Cup final after more late-game heroics, coming back from down 1-0 with an 85th-minute equalizer by Enzo Fernandez and a stoppage-time winner from the header of Lautaro Martinez for the 2-1 win over England. Both goals assisted by Lionel Messi. England's 60-year World Cup drought will continue. They face France Saturday in the third-place game. Argentina survives again, and they will face Spain Sunday afternoon, looking to be the first repeat World Cup champion since 1962. In NFL news, the Saints and running back Alvin Kamara have agreed to a one-year deal worth $6 million, up to $8.5 million, keeping him in New Orleans this season. Kamara will turn 31 later on this month. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome back to the show on this Thursday afternoon. Do you have your bowling tickets? You better. I saw people were still buying teams this morning. People have started tagging us in tweets and things of that nature because we got the bowling event going on tonight, Eastside Bowl. We're bowling for charity. It's $40 for 3 hours of bowling. And if you want to go early for happy hour over there at Eastside Bowl, they got a full bar, though. We'll also have 3HL doing a show from Eastside Bowl in the lead-up. And then we have, I don't know how many lanes, but we got a bunch from 6 this evening until 9 p.m. Shenanigans will ensue. We were all just planning our logistics. Uber is a smart play for the bowling event, historically. So,
I think I'm going to ride my bike there.
You have a bike?
I do. Yeah, a little mongoose.
No, like the ones we used to ride around on, like Huffy bikes?
Oh, yeah. That's like the ugly stick version of a bicycle. You could never tear up a mongoose.
Okay, if you ride your bike, I'll ride my ripstick.
You don't have a ripstick.
The Shin Destroyer.
I used to.
That's the most East Nashville thing you ever said. You got a ripstick.
It's sitting around my parents' garage somewhere.
Oh, no. I could never do that. Or do you guys, was longboarding a big thing in like Tennessee or Indiana?
I remember longboarding.
We had a huge hill called, affectionately, the Hill in Greenville, and you would see people like first time trying out the longboard, get into class, and would eat it. Just like skin on concrete sliding for like 6 feet. People's elbows, knees, chins, everything tore up. You couldn't pay me to get on a longboard.
What is this segment that you have here?
I put it in here because it kind of organically came up when I mentioned Lionel Messi being the greatest athlete to ever touch a ball, and Roberts quickly said soccer ball. And it made me wonder, as we continue to watch Lionel Messi, who at the age of 39, this is the best World Cup he's ever played for Argentina. He has 8 goals and 4 assists. He's now the all-time leader in World Cup goals in the history of the tournament and in World Cup assists in the history of the tournament. The best version of Leo Messi for Argentina is happening now at the age of 39 years old. And it had me thinking, with longevity in mind, is Lionel Messi a greater athlete to soccer than Tom Brady is to football or Wayne Gretzky is to hockey? Like, is there a bigger gap between Messi and the next than those other players? So or LeBron in basketball?
I need context here. What is the definition that we're going by? If we're just talking about the greatest, is that because you said the word athlete, and I don't. Tom Brady is athletic, but he's not the greatest athlete.
No. I'm not trying to get into semantics of who's more athletic and faster.
So
like
in terms of
their careers,
their accomplishments, they are the greatest. Tom Brady is the greatest in terms of accomplishments.
Yes,
I think the further we get away from Brady, 7 is an insane number.
Insane. And to do it at the age of, was it 44, 45 at the last one?
To do it that long. So he's older than Messi now, right? Messi's 39?
Messi's turned 39 during this tournament.
Okay, so I'm going to say when we get 15, 20 years removed from Tom Brady's last Super Bowl, I think we're going to look around and be like, how the hell did one human being win 7 Super Bowls? Because it's so hard to do. It's so hard to win a Super Bowl. How many? There's still, 12 franchises, I think, that have never won?
And then look at, it's not just what he won, it is how he won. Like, how many Hall of Fame quarterbacks across the AFC and NFC was he better than to win those? How many teams did he drag there? How many? And he always had talent. He always had good talent. But
the inverse was true in his early part of the career, right? He was the passenger princess, a la Russell Wilson in Legion of Boom. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Continue.
No. That was what I had. It's like, it wasn't just that. Well, people make jokes about Jordan's legacy, saying that he was playing against farmers and checkout accountants, which isn't true. But you know what I mean? Like, that you can say that Tom Brady faced the best of the best and still came out on top.
This will be blasphemy to some people, but I think Leo Messi is greater to soccer than Jordan is to basketball.
Google agrees with you. I asked Google who was the greatest athlete to ever touch a ball, and the first name they come up with is Lionel Messi. Widely considered the greatest athlete to touch a ball thanks to his unmatched dribbling, visionary playmaking, record-setting achievements in global football. Across all sports, however, the GOAT title depends on what ball you're talking about.
Yes. Yep. Because you just continue to reflect on it. And at the age of 39, doing this, if Argentina win the World Cup on Sunday, Messi likely will win the Ballon d'Or, which is the trophy that goes to the best player in the world for that particular calendar year. In fact, I think it'll come down to whoever wins this game. It'll be either Messi at 39 or Lamine Yamal at 19. And we can get to the picture of him and Yamal as a baby.
Well, explain this picture to me, okay? Because I saw it initially, and I understood the backstory. Yamal's family won a raffle for the opportunity to have a photo shoot with Barcelona players.
So Barcelona, I don't know if they still do it, but they always did this calendar photo shoot every year, this charity photo shoot where one player would take a photo with a kid for each month of the calendar. And Lamine Yamal's family, local to Barcelona at the time, when he was an infant, Lamine Yamal, for those who don't know, star player, currently the face of Barcelona, who just won the Spanish league, considered to be one of the best players in the world already, a prodigy at 19. And he is matched up with Messi in this World Cup final. When Yamal was an infant in Barcelona, his family won a local raffle for their baby to be one of the kids that is included in this charity photo shoot, that their baby gets to take a photo with a Barcelona player, a random Barcelona player. And that player happened to be a young Lionel Messi. That's just the player they drew. He had not reached these heights at that time. He was one of the best players in the world, a rising star, but not this deity that he is now. And so now that picture comes back around, because what are the odds of a family in Barcelona winning a local raffle for their baby to take a photo with Lionel Messi, who then goes on to become the greatest player to ever grace a soccer field, and that baby also goes on to be baby GOAT, essentially, is what he is. And he went through the same academy at Barcelona that Lionel Messi went through, and now they meet for a World Cup final despite Messi being 20 years his senior. Like Robert said it before the show, it would be like if by happenstance a young Pat Mahomes as an infant got to take a picture with Tom Brady for a charity photo shoot, and then happens to be baby GOAT battling Brady in a Super Bowl. It's unfathomable, the odds of this happening. So it's just amazing how some of these things can come full circle.
I think that there's just such a stubborn generation of people that will not let go of the idea of Michael Jordan being the best at everything.
Ever. And that's one in the chat. And I get it.
And I'm surprised there's not more. Maybe are we starting to age out of that?
I don't know. I mean,
how old's Jordan?
63. When did MJ hang it up? I mean, 2003 he was born in 63.
The Wizards don't count.
Okay.
Don't count the Wizards.
All right, yeah, fair enough. His last year with the Bulls in 98. How old, if he was born in 63, how old was he in 98? Somebody, please.
I was told there would be no math.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try.
30.
63 to 98, that's 35.
35. Okay. So he won a title at 35. That's greatness. I mean, that is greatness.
Yep.
And here's Lionel Messi knocking on the door of another World Cup at 39. Never mind the career he had at club level, which is unmatched by any player in the history of the game.
Okay, so to me, the order I mean, especially if Messi wins. If Messi wins the World Cup, it's him at the top. That's the world's biggest sport. He will then be the most accomplished athlete in the world's biggest sport. And I know there are some people, I know you mentioned Argentina and fans who will never let go of Maradona, maybe in the same way of Michael Jordan, even for Messi. But
that's in their ecosystem. Yeah. It's what he means to them.
I think globally, if you are talking about the world of sports, okay, Lionel Messi is the greatest athlete in the world's biggest sport. So that puts him, I think, definitively number one. I think that Tom Brady is second. Tom Brady, to me, the degree of difficulty of what Tom Brady did is more difficult than what Michael Jordan did. And that doesn't mean that what Michael Jordan did is not also spectacular, because I would put Michael next.
Then LeBron?
Probably. And that's the distinguishing factor between most accomplished and best athlete.
And we haven't even mentioned Wayne Gretzky, who, if you took away all his goals, would still be the all-time leader in the NHL in points.
I'm willing to hear the argument of Gretzky over LeBron. LeBron has titles. Gretzky has records that nobody will ever touch. Yeah. So I could go either way on LeBron and Gretzky. I put Jordan third.
It's just, you just marvel at what you're seeing right now with Messi. So let's appreciate it, right? So all those guys, like, imagine being able to watch Jordan in his prime. You didn't get to do that. I didn't get to do that. Robert didn't get to do that.
Our history with Michael Jordan is Space Jam and YouTube.
Right. We were toddlers, infants, when he was doing what he was doing with Chicago. We didn't get that with Gretzky. We got it with Brady.
Yep.
And now we're getting it with Messi.
Yes.
It's like something that, it's nice to sit back and realize we may only have one more of those in terms of the World Cup, and then he'll come back to Major League Soccer. This is what's happening. We've got an MLS player doing this, and it's just insane. Now, a conversation for another day, but just to put the seed in your minds, as John Jones gets a shout by Dixie in the F&M Bank chat.
Well, I would say Khabib, right? Isn't Khabib?
Well, no, but that's not what I'm talking about, because you mentioned Diego Maradona, and Robert and I had this brief discussion. The Mount Rushmore of cocaine-fueled athletes in the history of sports. Because Diego Maradona's there. Yeah. John Bone Jones is there.
On the pitch, Diego Maradona.
Michael Irvin? I mean, we could have that discussion maybe another time.
Oh, I love that discussion.
Yeah, I knew you would. I was like, don't tell Buck that. He'll want to do it on the show.
You need to watch that HBO doc of Maradona, man. It's
I will.
Insane.
I will.
Dude,
didn't he take like a bump during a game,
yes,
like on the sideline?
The man had an insane life.
Good for him.
The fact that he cheated and was so brazen about cheating after the fact, because you know the story behind the hand of God, right? Or you, Robert?
We talked about it.
The hand of God.
That's his famous play, okay?
What? Who's in it?
Diego Maradona, Argentina.
Also, he wrote a play and put himself in it? Like, okay.
He's just messing with you.
Yes, right? I understand. I understand the place that he tried to take the joke, so I was trying to play along, and then he ruined it. You know what the hand of God is. You don't know what the play is.
He knows what it is, all right? Just go get on to your
thing. I don't think he does.
We've talked about it multiple times.
That doesn't mean, okay, we talk about a million things multiple times and none of us hear each other, okay? The face that he's making at me, Diego Maradona cheated. It's a handball.
It's his goal against England in the 86 World Cup where he literally punched it in with his hand and it didn't get called. And it's known as the hand of God.
We don't have review. We don't have review in 86.
Oh, what do you mean review? You just saw it. You just saw him punch it in there. Oh, I don't know if it happened or not. They called
it a goal on the field. What? They called it a goal on the field.
The ref thought he headed it in because it was near his head.
You can see him punching the ball in. Yeah. Okay?
He's going up for the header and he punches it in.
So many pictures. Look up this picture. I want to see you look at this picture in real time, okay? Because the world before slow-mo replay, instant replay, wild West. Look at this picture.
It looks like he's about to dunk it. It literally looks like he's about to Michael Jordan jam
just
it.
To frame it for you, Robert, this is 4 years after the Falklands War, where the British Army kills hundreds of young Argentine men, and then they play each other in the World Cup quarterfinal. Maradona scores that goal, and then proceeds to score the greatest goal in World Cup history, where he takes the ball at midfield and dribbles 8 England players and finishes it, and Argentina goes on to win the World Cup. It's the goal. I brought it up yesterday. I said Maradona later said it was like stealing England's wallet.
But do you know why it's called the hand of God? Because he gets to a press conference after the fact, and he's asked about it, And he says, it wasn't my hand. It was the hand of God.
Like he proudly,
badass.
He proudly
wore
owns
that.
the fact that he cheated like hell and they won the World Cup.
Also, no one told me that this man has such an interesting build. His legs are just as long as his torso.
Yeah.
His torso looks like a mini fridge with
Derrick
legs.
Henry build.
See, I don't know. Derrick still looks like a beefed up Gumby. Like Derrick still looks long and strong.
He looks like he should be the greatest running back to ever
Yeah.
play.
Diego looks like his vertebrae is built out of 6 vertebrae. Like it's very, very short and compact.
Yeah. Watch that. Both of you watch that documentary.
Absolutely.
And then report back.
We're going to have IndyCar driver Will Power in studio coming up next. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. We've got the Music City Grand Prix this weekend, and we're fired up about it. We got Will Power in studio, driver of the number 26 car for Andretti Global. Will, it's good to see you.
It's nice to be here.
You are going through the media car wash, as it were, today, and we appreciate you making some time for us, as we mentioned when you walked in the studio. We have been to the Music City Grand Prix several times. And now, since they've moved the track to the Nashville Super Speedway, it seems like it's grown even further, despite not being downtown. The downtown element of it was cool, of course, and we hope that it eventually comes back.
Cool for us.
Well, yeah, it's convenient.
But that's cool for us, too.
Okay, that's what I'm curious about.
Very cool, yeah.
What's a more enjoyable experience for you as a driver, to be zipping around downtown
That's a good
Nashville
point.
or to be at the Super Speedway?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to beat that venue downtown, man. Like, going over that bridge, the accessibility for people in the city. So, yeah, I mean, the stadium is a stadium being built, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just took what the track would be.
Where the paddock used to be is where the new stadium essentially is being built.
Yeah. Are they knocking the other one down, is it?
So the plan is to deconstruct it, and then the city is getting back the land that the old stadium's on, so retail, living, all kind of stuff.
But we don't get a full implosion, which we're very disappointed about.
Yeah, we wanted them to blow it up.
That would have been something. Although it's because there's nothing in the middle, or was it enclosed?
No, it's open air. It's one of the few left, honestly, because we're going to a dome setup as well. But yeah, as far as like the tactics for you guys as drivers, what changes from what the track used to be to what you guys have been racing now for a couple of years? I think it's 3 years now at the Super Speedway.
Yeah, it's significantly different style of racing. Obviously averaging very high speed, in the 200, 220 mile an hour. It's very different discipline. I think the racing's really good out there. As long as we have multiple lanes on a super speedway, we get good racing, and that track, cement track, high grip, it has that. I'd love to win it. Man, I've had some bad runs there. I've had some great potential, and last year I came into the pits while leading and then ran over my pit crew. Unfortunately, I left the bloody thing in second and didn't engage neutral, but I think we'll have good cars there. It's my first year with Andretti running there, new team, but they've had Colton Herter won there a couple of years ago. So, series is so bloody competitive now. It's incredibly difficult to win. So to win a race, you got to get absolutely everything right and be right on point. So when you win, you've done something bloody good.
Do you find yourself as a driver looking forward more to the street races?
I do love the street races. I do. The atmosphere, it's more of a party atmosphere. You're close to a city. Street racing is a lot of fun. I mean, they're two different disciplines, which I actually really enjoy ovals as well. But from a venue standpoint, I shouldn't be. The Super Speedway is awesome. It's crazy racing. Like, if you're in that mix in the pack racing around cars at 220 mile an hour, it's no joke. Versus
220 miles an hour. It's just like it's a number, and you don't realize how ridiculous that must feel for you guys in real time.
It never gets. I would say it never gets comfortable. Never gets comfortable.
How could it?
Yeah, you're kind of always on guard of where the rear's at. Like, is this thing going to stick? But that is incredibly intense racing. The street course is also very hard. You're racing in between walls. Obviously, a lot more speed variation, braking, bumps. Similar in if you make a mistake going into a wall, except on a super speedway, you're going into a wall bloody hard. Like, at 200 mile an hour, it doesn't feel nice.
Will Power, IndyCar driver, in studio with us. The Music City Grand Prix going down on Sunday at the Nashville Super Speedway. Newgarden obviously got a fan base here, local boy. Won it last year. What's the competition? What makes Joseph such an effective driver, and how is he as a competitor to you?
He's one of the best, if not the best, in the series on ovals. That's what he's won pretty much I can't remember the last time we run a road or a street course, but he's very strong on the oval, so he's always going to be in the mix. Obviously won back-to-back Indy 500s,
right.
So tough guy to beat, but there's a lot of them in the field now, a lot of good guys. So like I said, for you to win on race day, you got to get everything right. You cannot make any mistakes on the track, off the track, in the pits, strategy, all the stuff, restarts. There's just too many good drivers and teams to take it away if you don't execute.
Two-time IndyCar champion Will Power is in studio with us on 104.5 The Zone. Is there an athletic trait required as an IndyCar driver that fans just wouldn't even come around to thinking about? Or really any motorsports? Is there one that just you think wouldn't even be top of mind, that people wouldn't even consider, that is a huge part of your regimen as a driver?
You've got to be very fit. I wouldn't say there's an athletic trait like, strength in one area. Obviously, your arms, reflexes, these sort of things.
I think hand-eye coordination more than anything.
Yeah, it's all that stuff. Like, in a race, obviously, you get to understand where the car falls each lap, so you adapt to that. And I think, anticipating how the car will fall each time and, accuracy. There's so many things that come to mind when you're trying to execute a top-level lap. And I mean on a road or street course. Oval's a bit different. Like oval, I think the skill is understanding what you need from the car and telling the engineers, like, this is how the car's behaving. You need to make this change. Like, I think if you're very good at that, because on the oval, you cannot drive around a bad car. You can't make it up as a driver. Like, you really have to have a car that's stable for you. So the skill is staying on top of it. You got tools inside the car on a super speedway, like, that can change the handling. You got weight jacking, you got anti-roll bars, you got things that change the behavior of the car depending on what it's doing. So I've found that if you're really on top of that and ahead of it, if you feel like, oh man, the car's starting to go loose, starting to heat the rear, the outside rear tire, and you just adjust quickly and are ahead of it so it doesn't fall off a cliff, and then you're just in big trouble, and you end up having to pit or just go backwards. So, man, you got to be fit. The last race was incredibly hot, a very tough road course. And I think Graham Rahal posted his, what's it called, the Whoop or whatever. His heart rate for the race, man, he's hanging out at, 180, 170, 180 the whole race. And that's like cardio fitness, man. That is like, you've got to be fit. People have no idea how physical it is. It's like working out in a sauna on a rowing machine. That's the level you get to.
How did you decide that this was what you wanted to do?
From a kid, my father raced, was always around the garage. I just loved open wheel racing. I love racing. It's earliest memory.
And so, like, what's the origin story, for lack of a better term? So you're hanging around the garage. You're into the cars. You're a fan of racing. How do you go about pursuing that? Because that's a sport where we've been talking a lot about the World Cup around here. We talk about the barrier of entry to a sport, right? All you need is a ball to play soccer. This is a very, very specific set of skills you need. Obviously, high-level equipment, like the access to this thing has to be different.
It is different. Every IndyCar driver, Formula One driver, any racing series in the world, they all started in go-karts. And go-karting is a big sport around this country, in Europe, all around the world, actually. There's a world championship for karting. Now, I still race karts.
Yeah.
So that's where you start. You get 6-year-olds, even younger, 5, 4, on up, and different classes in go-karts. And then they're getting younger and younger, and they move, into cars now at 14. But that's where you start. It is a tough sport to get into and then have the ability, which is funding, of parents that can pay for that stuff all the way through until you get picked up by, a manufacturer or Red Bull or, one of these sponsors that will back you through junior categories and into something like IndyCar or NASCAR or Formula One. I started in go-karts, 6 years old. And, if you don't start then, you're probably never going to make it.
this is crazy.
Yeah.
As far as the growth of the sport, and obviously Nashville now being a part of this since 2021, I've seen a lot of different cities who have not necessarily had IndyCar races have started to participate with road courses and things like that. I know Chicago, if I'm not mistaken, had one or has had one here in the last couple of years. What have you made of the growth of IndyCar? Because I'm from Indiana, so all we know is IndyCar and basketball. That's really the two standalone sports. So to see it, and racing has always been a global sport, for lack of a better term, but just to see IndyCar specifically in the States.
The growth in the last 5 years, I believe, came from the Netflix series Drive to Survive and Formula One. And although, it grew in popularity like I've never seen a sport grow, like Formula One has just grown massively. And then those fans have trickled over into IndyCar, and IndyCar is the closest thing to Formula One, as a top-level series, and actually has been around longer than Formula One. But the demographic has changed tremendously as well. It's young females, actually 15 to 30-year-olds. And I've been doing autograph sessions for 20 years in this series, and can't tell you in the last 5 years how much that has changed to a much younger demographic. And I believe that's come from mainly Formula One, and, it's just lifted all motorsports, and it's just, there's movies out, and just, so much more visibility of it, and it's helped us tremendously. I mean, our ratings are up massively this year. I think Fox buying, a third of IndyCar has helped as well, and it's grown. It's constantly grown in the last 20 years, but in the last 5, it's really grown. It's the best I've ever seen it in my career. I've been going 20 years.
IndyCar driver Will Power with us in studio. Is there a driver in particular that helped you fall in love with the sport, whether that's IndyCar or Formula One? Because we've been sat here today talking about Lionel Messi and this level of greatness he's reaching that so few have reached regardless of sport. Is there one for you in particular that you view personally as the standard, the pinnacle of racing?
It's that era of sort of 80s, 90s drivers, Michael Andretti, Mario Andretti, Alonso, the Formula One guys, Nigel Mansell, Nelson Piquet, that group of, absolute heroes to me as a kid. They were the drivers I watched and just watched in amazement and couldn't imagine ever being in that position. So, it's that era of motorsport I just absolutely loved. Open wheel motorsport, IndyCar, Formula One.
Well, it is fascinating to hear you talk about all of the technicalities of the car and the familiarity you have to have, essentially as an engineer while being the driver. Does that come naturally? Because like a quarterback in football falls in love with the game, right? And throwing the ball and running the ball. And then there has to be a certain point where they have to be a pro, become well acquainted with schemes and different looks they're going to get from defenses and how to watch tape. How does that work as a driver? How organic or natural is that evolution to having to essentially become an engineer so that you can be at your best?
It's very similar. There's so much technology available now. It's like you say, we've got onboard cameras, so a ton of video work, film work, a lot of data to go through. You got sensors on everything, but driving data you can just overlay to your teammates and understand exactly where you're faster and slower. He's braking more here, he's braking less here, he's on the throttle sooner here, he flows more middle speed here, he slows it up in the middle but gets a better exit. You see all that in the data in the speed trace. You can see exactly your throttle position, speed, steering position, brake pressure, all that plus more. So a lot of homework. You got simulators now. I was on the simulator for the Nashville Speedway this weekend. They're massive $10 million simulator where you're sitting in a room and the cockpit you're moving in moves around. And you have home simulators now, like iRacing is really big and pretty good. So, it's very in-depth by the time you get in the car to practice and then qualify. You've done a lot of work. You've sat down with engineers. You've had meetings, tried to digest as much as possible on the previous year. And the driver is the one that really is like the quarterback. He's the one that, drives the direction of development, the direction of the car setup during the weekend. It's as much as the engineers have all this data coming in, it's really the driver who is the best sensor in the car.
Yeah, how's it feel?
Yes, exactly.
But is there a certain point in your career where you've fallen in love with racing and you have that recognition? If I want to reach the level I want to reach, then I have to learn more about the car. And
very much so. I mean, I'm one of the oldest in the field, and I was a mechanic / engineer myself on my own car. I rebuilt my own cars, did all the engine changes, gearbox changes, full setups, wheel alignments, all that stuff on open wheel cars because I just didn't have the money to run in a team, so I ran my own. So I understand the car very well. I would say I am sure I understand the car better than anyone in the field because I've had to do it myself. I was a mechanic, so I can. And I tell you, that helps you give feedback to the engineer. If you understand how the mechanism works, how differential works, or how exactly the suspension works, springs, dampers, all that stuff, you're going to give better feedback and suggestions on what direction you should go and set up.
If you're not going out to the Nashville Superspeedway, you should. Tickets available at the Music City Grand Prix that's going down this weekend, and it's also being broadcast, as Will mentioned, on Fox. 4:30 local time is where you can watch the race, but they've got events going on Saturday. They've got events going on in the lead up to the race on Sunday out at the Grand Prix. It's always a great event. You guys have done an incredible job bringing IndyCar to Nashville. We so appreciate you guys bringing your sport to the city. And to see the way that the city and has really leaned into IndyCar. It's going to be an awesome event, and we wish you the best of luck on Sunday, buddy.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Will Power hanging out in studio with us. We'll keep the conversation going. If you want to jump in, 615-737-1045. I'm Buck Rising. It's 1045 The Zone. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. I really enjoyed our conversation with Will Power. I was telling Lucas in the commercial break, his question about learning the car, I thought was probably the best question that was asked in the middle of that interview, just because to understand the dynamic between the driver, the crew, it's the thing that I have seen from quarterback without having watched quarterback is the way that they talk about preparing the footballs for each quarterback based on their preference. And how when you get the football out of the bag, it's got a bunch of oil on it, it's super slick, it falls out of your hand if you don't have the proper grip. They've got certain mud techniques to put on the football. Every quarterback likes it different. Yeah. If you don't have the background that Will Power has as an engineer, somebody who just works on his own cars, how are you going to give feedback to the engineering crew about things that feel X, Y, and Z in the car?
You have to have the eyes and ears and brain of a mechanic. And that's unlike anything else. In any sport, you fall in love with the sport first, right? If you're a player, and then you have to adapt and learn about the scheme and the strategy and tactics, whatever it might be. But as a driver, you can fall in love with driving and going fast and the thrill of a race. And then there's got to be this moment where you're like, oh, I have to basically be an engineer now too. So I'm always curious about it. If they take classes, if they just learn themselves, if they work in a body shop. Because you watch Formula One and these drivers, you watch IndyCar, they know the ins and outs of that car to a very similar level that their engineers do. That's their job. And I think that's fascinating. That's unlike anything else.
As far as sports go, IndyCar to me, NASCAR to me, I've been to a NASCAR race. I've been to the Cracker Barrel 400 that they run out at the Super Speedway. We've done the Music City Grand Prix several times, especially when I have not done it since it's moved to the Super Speedway. I think the 2 years that we did it, it was the initial track around downtown. I think that's probably, is that the best sport as far as the difference in person versus televised broadcast? Because I get why people don't necessarily love the broadcast version of NASCAR races or IndyCar races. Indianapolis 500 is a long race, right? And there is drama, there are moments, there are wrecks, there are things that there are huge opportunities where you see a driver take the lead late and things of that nature. But I feel similarly about hockey this way. Like, I don't have a Stanley Cup, I'll watch on TV.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm with you. Every sport is better in person, I would say.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think that's true?
I think the NFL, and maybe it's because of my experience, but I think the NFL, on aggregate, is a better experience on television than it is in person anymore. Maybe there was a time.
I'll give you that because NFL environments, for the most part, leave a lot to be desired, with exceptions.
Corporate.
Yes. Sanitized, 100%.
Unless it's, I will give you Lambeau, Detroit.
Yeah, Arrowhead, Buffalo.
Even Arrowhead has moments where...
Cleveland. I think Cleveland has moments.
Yes, Cleveland. For a bad team, for a horrid organization, the way they continue to show up, 100%. I'm with you. I was slightly underwhelmed by Arrowhead when we went there for Sunday Night Football.
I really do think, now, the last time, the most recent time that I had been there since that Sunday Night Football game was the championship game, the AFC championship game. And so it's hard to compare those two environments. I don't think the Titans had played at Arrowhead since.
That's not true. No, they played there for Sunday Night Football.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
22. Oh, yeah, they haven't played there since 22.
No.
At that point, they had not since. Yes,
right, they had hosted the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah, I imagine it was several notches below the AFC championship.
Yeah, so that to me felt a little bit different. And obviously, the 19 Super Bowl was Mahomes' first Super Bowl. Yeah. So by then they had won several times, and it becomes a different. Once you win the first one, the atmosphere changes.
That hunger goes away.
Right? Nick Saban, Alabama. We'd love for our fans to show up earlier in the game and stuff like that.
That's why Browns fans are so rabid.
So I don't know that there's another nominee that I would submit that's better on TV than it is in person. Yeah. The NFL, to me, is definitively that.
The biggest gap between the experience in person and on TV probably is racing. Just to be there and to hear the cars and to see them in person, it's night and day, right? It's apples to oranges from the television product. And I say that as someone that enjoys watching Formula One. Any chance I get, I'm watching the race on Sunday. I'll be watching the Grand Prix this Sunday in Belgium, if I'm not mistaken. But Formula One race is so high up there on that bucket list of things to see in person, having only been to IndyCar and NASCAR races in my lifetime. I submit baseball as well, but that's just because I don't really have interest in like watching the ins and outs of the game. I just want to hang out in the sun and hear the crack of a bat and enjoy the aesthetic of being at a baseball game.
Oh yeah, I think most baseball fans would agree with you that in person infinitely better than the broadcast.
And not even because of how much more you get to pay attention to the game, but because you get to just be in that environment. I love the environment of a baseball game. I love it. There's not a more relaxed vibe to kick back and just that feel good.
Pound beers and hot dogs and sit in the sun. It's also summertime, so you may be a little extra day drinking element to it. No, I'm with you. I love going to baseball games, even though I'm not a baseball fan. Which, by the way, when's the last time we've been to a Sounds game?
I have I haven't been in a year. I need to get back out there.
I think it's been 2 years since I've been to a Sounds game, so I'm overdue. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what prompted that thought in my head the other day, and maybe it's just because I am at NFL games, and to see the stark difference between the NFL and college football, which I never really had an appreciation for until I moved here and went to my first Tennessee game because I was working at Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt obviously did not have what's going on now at Vandy. It was a completely different world. They were being outnumbered by New Mexico State FCS fans and things like that.
Now, the appreciation for the athletic accomplishment that is what those players are doing is greater in person in every sport. In every sport. Like cars go faster in person than when you're watching on television, right? Watching a soccer player dribble away from somebody in person is better than watching it on television. Watching a quarterback get pulverized in person.
Watching Derrick Henry take off is better live than it is on TV.
Like, you just appreciate the physical feat that is more when you see it in person than when you're watching on television.
Bustin on YouTube says, hockey might be the best live sporting experience as far as watching the game. The visibility, and I hate to do the geezer thing, but like, I don't know. I've got a big screen TV in my living room, and even I still have a hard time tracking a puck on TV sometimes. In the arena, and this is honestly the worst part about how bad the Preds have been the last couple of years. I thought the Preds had the best thing going for so long. I mean, as far as what it was, the atmosphere, even when the Titans were good, like, because it's a smaller venue, right? I think Bridgestone's 17,000 as opposed to damn near 70 that Nissan is. You had a period of time where the Preds were in that Stanley Cup run where they squeaked into the playoffs and then went to the Stanley Cup. And then the several years after that in the regular season where they were the President's Trophy team, President's Trophy winning team, and then still had a couple of playoff appearances left in them, but they started to peter out, man. I miss playoff hockey. I miss good hockey atmospheres. It's probably been longer since I've been to a Preds game. It's probably been more than 2 years since I've been to a Preds game.
There were a couple this past season that Bridgestone got rocking as they got into some form. And
you ended up going to more than usual,
went
right?
To a few games. Like, they started pushing for the playoffs. But, yeah, Bridgestone hasn't been Bridgestone since pre-Stanley Cup run. Prices start to go up. The product starts to get worse. And you just lose that organic, rabid feel that Bridgestone once carried. It is what it is.
Yeah, I hate the idea that when you get to a certain place as a franchise, or when you make a run of that nature, you do start to price some of your fans out. Yeah. And I'm not saying that that's not a thing that you shouldn't do,
but it's just what happens.
Yeah, so it's a shame. It's a shame to see that in the aftermath of what.
Unless you're FIFA, prices go up and environments stay the same.
They really are.
It's irritating.
It's so damn rotten, but I love it.
Like what could ruin this? Make the ticket $7,000. Nope. Still insane. Still the craziest pressure cooker environment you could possibly have for people mortgaging their homes.
Yes, you are putting people across the world into financial ruin.
Yes, but they're happily doing it.
They're doing it with a smile on their face like that. I can't get over that damn Scott. Said, I tossed my job. I sold my car. I'm not going back.
Bibbidi Bobbidi says, NSC currently the best bang for your buck in town for a viewing experience. Tomorrow night, Nashville against Atlanta, MLS's return post-World Cup.
Well, and I saw B.J. Callahan was asked by Janir at WSMV. Why or what is your message to fans who are experiencing soccer during this World Cup? And forgive me, I'm paraphrasing the question, but what basically, how are you trying to get people who experience the World Cup but haven't necessarily been Nashville SC fans? And he said, basically, it's not too early. It's never, the bandwagon's always available.
Hop on. Top of the league.
Bandwagon's always available.
That's going to be a great environment. Those next few games at Geodis back are going to be rocking, man.
615-737-1045 is the number. We will get to your phone calls. We have several. People want to talk about the race. People want to talk about our GOAT conversation from earlier. We're also going to do a little bit of college football ahead of SEC Media Days. I'm Buck Rising. It's 1045 The Zone. Final hour already. Show went fast. It's bowling day. Bowling day at Eastside Bowl. We got the bowling event tonight. Slay's giving away 2 tickets on 3HL. He said he was. You damn well better follow through. If not, call in and bully him. 615-737-1045. The number what?
Did you guys have Boxing Day in college?
We did not have Boxing Day. We had something called the Little 500, which is a week-long. The Little 500 itself is a bike race, but they do a week of events, concerts, Lil Wayne, Mac Miller, Ludacris, all this kind of stuff in the lead up to the race itself.
Tennessee has always done Boxing Weekend, where it's SAE's big philanthropy event where all the fraternities do a boxing tournament.
That's what we did. But
like the biggest party weekend of the year at Tennessee.
This weekend feels like Boxing Weekend to me. Where
it's a tough weekend.
Thursday feels like Friday. Yeah. You know you're going to have a lot of fun, but then it's like you still have to work Friday. But then once Friday show's done, it's like we're going to hit it hard again. Like I can just feel the anticipation growing.
Yeah. Are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you excited? All of them?
I live for the moment, baby. I live for weekends like this because there are very few and far opportunities for everyone at the station to get together. Like, we joke and razz with the morning show and 3HL and Cover 2 and I don't like this. But we really all do generally like each other. I like being in the company of people I work with at this station.
So generally.
Yeah, well, generally, we do care about each other.
Yes,
I love these opportunities to get to hang out with everybody at the station under one roof and then the listeners under one roof. You get to see all of us not FCC safe, I guess you could say.
I heard you had a day trying to record your spots from neighbors.
It was a little tough. If I'm going off the cuff, sometimes there are blips, and I don't like making mistakes. And when I do, sometimes there are lashing out. So it happens.
Mistakes were made by England last night in the World Cup final, and that's what we're going to talk about here in just a second. 615-737-1045. We do have calls to take if you want to jump in. Let's go to Corey, who's been patiently waiting in Nipper's Corner.
Are we on?
You are.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you, I got to go with Jordan and Messi, and I've got the connection. In 1994, I was the clubhouse manager and equipment manager for the Birmingham Barons. The year Jordan decided to play baseball after winning 3 championships with the Bulls. You can Google the team photo. I'm the wide guy all the way on the left, one person away from Jordan. And then on the far end from there is a guy named Terry Francona, who won a couple of World Series for the Red Sox after that. So I had quite a season there. So I'm going to have to go with Jordan as a basketball player because I haven't seen him play after he decided to leave baseball. I won't say he's the best baseball player, but I
think that's fair.
He could have improved.
Thank you for the call, Corey. We appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a cool experience.
Phone line difficult, but I think Corey had more there. I think if you're talking about global sports, you have to put Messi above Jordan. Now, if you want to put Jordan above Brady, I disagree with you. I also understand that I did not live through the Jordan era proper, and so that my context of Tom Brady's accomplishments being greater than Michael Jordan's may be specific to my generation. I still think that 7 Super Bowls is infinitely harder than just about anything other than what Messi has done. I really believe this because, I mean, Tom Brady, I hate to shower praise on the greatest of all time as if he needs it, but I really do feel the further we get away from 7 championships for him, we're going to look around and be like, how?
Yeah.
How could you ever in that sport accomplish it? I mean,
and think how critical for Brady to get that last one when it comes to the GOAT debate. Like, that just nail in the coffin.
Bleep you, Belichick.
Yeah.
You need me more than I need you.
Yeah.
I'm going to put together my mercenary roster of Ndamukong Suh and Jason Pierre-Paul. And Antonio
crazy.
Brown wasn't on the Super Bowl Bucs team, was he? I know he was there later.
Yeah, he was.
Was he on the Super Bowl team?
No, he won that. He won that Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yes. And I love some of the parallels between Brady and Messi in terms of self-preservation. And Tom Brady, so elite at getting the ball out and not taking those hits, while Lionel Messi, elite at conserving that energy and the walking around on the field, although he ran over 5 miles yesterday, which is the most he's run in regulation in a World Cup in 2026, to tell you just how much this means to a player like Messi. But just the undercurrents of this final. Lionel Messi, for those who don't know, at a very young age, maybe 8, 10, 11, moved to Spain, was scouted, and moved to Spain to join Barcelona's youth academy. So did not really grow up in Argentina. The time he spent in Argentina was maybe a decade as a young child from when he was born. And so at a very young age, when the talent started to become apparent, Spain started to recruit Lionel Messi to become a Spanish citizen and play for the Spanish national team. And ultimately, he went with Argentina. And now here he is meeting Spain in a World Cup final. 10 years ago, in the 2016 Copa America final, which is the South American championship that the U.S. was hosting, Argentina played Chile at MetLife Stadium in the final. In June 2016, Argentina lost in penalty kicks, and it was a third consecutive final in a major tournament that Messi had lost with Argentina. And shortly after, in tears, he retired from international soccer. He said, "I'm done. I can't do it." He was almost vilified in Argentina because you'll never be Maradona. If you can't win a World Cup, you will never be Diego Maradona. You didn't grow up here. He retired from international soccer and then was convinced to come back. And now here he is, 10 years later, going back to MetLife Stadium on Sunday, the place where he retired from international soccer a decade ago, to try and repeat as World Cup champion with Argentina. To repeat something that's been done 2 times in the history of this tournament and has not been done since 1962. It feels so full circle that it just feels like he has to win. It feels like that's what has to happen Sunday, is Argentina finds a way, despite Spain and their ability to control a game and to stifle an opponent. And all Argentina has done is find a way.
And England doing some legwork there to help them. We talked about Thomas Tuchel, the English manager, earlier in the show. His decision-making that has been lambasted by everybody in print and radio and podcast and television across the pond because, again, it is never coming home for the English. We were talking about Messi within the context of greatness and Lucas's conversation earlier in the show. If you missed any of the show, by the way, check out the podcast. We've got it's been a fun show, fun week of shows. And tomorrow will be no different. Dane Brugler's on the show tomorrow. He's doing his top 10 prospect watch list. And it's always a fun time to talk to Dane about draft stuff when he's not being harassed by 7,000 different outlets about talking draft stuff. So we will do that with Dane tomorrow. But a part of this, Lucas, for me, was I was rooting against Argentina. I tweeted before England scored their goal, anybody but Argentina with the English flag. And then Argentina very quickly, undoes England. Thomas Tuchel is a pariah now, and Argentina and Messi advance for the opportunity to repeat in the World Cup. And I sat there thinking about it yesterday because my bitterness is, there's a little bit of it that's put on because I have no real attachment to the Egyptian national team other than my dad's half of the family is Egyptian, and after the U.S. went out, I was like, all right, Egypt's never won a World Cup game. They're in the round of 16. This is sick. Go Pharaohs. And Messi gets them, VAR gets them, whatever. So I've been rooting against Argentina the whole way through. And then I'm sitting there in the aftermath of yesterday's game and just almost a little bit stunned. Like we talked about what would be the better game, Spain, France, or England, Argentina. You were spot on. England, Argentina weren't close.
I don't know how the final Sunday tops that. And Spain may not let it top that.
Well, and I say that within the context of, even though I was rooting against Messi and Argentina, this is the final that I want.
Yeah.
This is the final that you want. You could have made the case if you enjoyed France's run through the World Cup. You're talking about their offense. You're talking about how electric Mbappe had been throughout the course of it until he ran into Spain's defense, and that's all well and good. But I think Spain, Argentina, Messi and Yamal.
Yeah.
You get that Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady dynamic in the game while still getting I think you're still going to have a dramatic result, even though Spain is going to try and suffocate them the way that they've suffocated everybody throughout the course of this tournament.
If Argentina just feels like it's built for drama. They can't play a game that isn't like pull your hair out, what in the world is happening drama.
It's like that Kevin Clark tweet. about the Seahawks? Like the Seahawks have literally never played a normal game ever.
Yeah,
and he brings it back for every year for the past 10 years.
This Argentina team feels that way.
Yeah.
I mean, think of the legions of Spanish fans. This is Spain's second ever trip to a final, by the way. Their first came in 2010 when they lifted the trophy, that legendary team. Now here they are looking to put a second star on the shirt. And there are so many Spanish fans that are also Barcelona fans. And their entire lives have idolized Lionel Messi, who has established himself as the greatest player in the history of the game, largely because of what he's done at club level with Barcelona. So there's so many components to this thing. But I do have a question for y'all in terms of comparisons, because when you watch Argentina, you see the deference that Argentine players have to Lionel Messi. It's like they're all doing this for him.
Well, yeah, I mean, because this has to be it, right?
Has to be, but he's 39. He turned 39 during this tournament. How can I sit here and say that this man at 39, who looks like the peak version of himself at 39, that he can't continue to play in 4 years at the age of 42, turning 43? How can I sit here and say that with certainty?
It's just,
seeing what we're seeing now.
There's no precedent for that.
No, none at all. There was no precedent for Brady winning a Super Bowl at 45.
No, I know, and maybe we're seeing it again. But if we saw that twice in my lifetime, I would be shocked. I really would.
4 years ago, when Messi finally climbed that mountaintop and won a World Cup at the age of 35, it was like, what a send-off.
Right.
Wow, what a way to cap your inner. And here he is. So, I don't know, man. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's a slam dunk, but...
No, not a slam dunk, but I'm going to get out there and say at 43 years old, he's not going to be playing in the World Cup.
Well, I mean, Ronaldo is out there being useless at the age of 41, so I feel like Messi could be out there and come off the bench at the age of 42. LeBron. By the way, speaking of LeBron, Messi's son is like 15 in the Inter Miami Academy. Just saying. Maybe we get a LeBron Bronny situation at some point.
Do they call him Messini? Or like, what is the like, if you want to call
Messini.
If you're going to call like what's a fat baby in Spanish? Gordito. So like, or gordita.
Mesito. It would be Mesito.
Yeah, so Mesito.
I don't know what his son's, what's his son's name? I can't remember.
It has to be Mesito.
We have to call him Mesito.
But the question I have for y'all is, what other examples have you seen in sports of this player at the age of 39 who is 10, 15 years older than so many of his teammates? So most of Messi's teammates grew up with posters of Messi on the wall and idolizing Messi. And it's like I saw somebody said on the internet that Argentina players fear two things: God and letting down Lionel Messi.
No, I think it's Kobe.
Right?
I think it's Kobe Bryant. Now, Kobe wasn't competing. Like, the Lakers weren't competing at the end, right? I mean, he had the what was the game where he scored, because Bam just passed it, right? He scored 80-plus points in a game towards the end, and they're just letting him jack up shots and stuff like that. It's a wildly inefficient performance, but it's Kobe's last go.
Kobe's last game. Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Kobe's last. But that's different, right? Because the Lakers aren't in it. Like, the Lakers aren't playing for an NBA Finals the way that Messi is for Argentina in the World Cup.
It's all like when a pitcher is getting close to a perfect game, and everybody on the field knows they cannot make a mistake because they cannot ruin this perfect game. They can't do it. They can't let this man down.
Robert, what about 2012 Ravens? Ray's last ride. That felt similar vibes. Again, I'm not putting Ray Lewis in the category of Kobe Bryant or Lionel Messi, but I'm saying in terms of the vibes, like it was win it for Ray. Yeah. I remember that very much. Manning, I'm sure the same in Denver.
And like didn't Elway also have a last ride situation? Yeah. Strahan had a last ride situation with the Giants.
So again, none with the profile of Messi. Kobe is the closest. I won't say that Kobe is close, but Kobe Bryant was an international figure.
Do you guys remember when Chipper Jones retired?
Mm-hmm.
Every single team he played in Major League Baseball gave him a stinking gift. And I thought that
Dwayne Wade had one of those. Yeah.
I think that was the lamest crap.
I think that's what's going to happen with LeBron.
They're making a documentary out of it. Of course it's going to be.
Well, I'm surprised that didn't happen in the World Cup, where people are just like, everybody that played Messi, once he announced this is his last ride, was not like, here is the finest goat from our island, or like everyone they played, you know what I mean? Like, didn't give him like a dowry-esque gift.
No, instead you got Bellingham out there mean-mugging him.
Auto Parts.
Yeah. Are we doing a sing along again?
No, it's the dad.
Less than one pot.
World Cup.
The timing there was good.
I thought you went to break.
Like, who played?
I mean, I know I went over, but like I'm literally 5 minutes over.
Messi once did a promotion, I think it was with Budweiser, where they sent a bottle of Budweiser to every goalkeeper that he had ever scored against. It was like 500 or something that were retired, that were still playing.
That's so funny.
Who was the beer company that was like, the beer will remain locked up until Cleveland gets a win? But
They had like the fridges.
As soon as they get a win, they're all coming unlocked. They won one game that year.
No, that's the year they won none, right?
No, they won one. The coolers got unlocked. I remember that moment.
Oh, man. No, I can't wait for Sunday. I can't wait for the play style of Spain, control, versus Argentina. Just kick our way to the last 10 minutes and then find a way.
Oh, we didn't even talk about my favorite part of the whole game. Maybe my favorite part of the whole World Cup.
Go on.
Who was the guy that Pele kicked irrelevantly just to kick someone in the head late in the second half?
Yeah, when Argentina's just lumping balls into the box, they still hadn't scored. Nicolas Otamendi, who's an OG, an old Argentine defender, just reared up for a bicycle kick straight into a crowd of English heads. Like, did not care.
He was not going to hit a ball anywhere.
No chance. And that's what they are, though. They don't care. Like, Argentina in the first half against England were, you have the ball so I can foul you.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, I mean, what did you text us? So you felt bad for the ref out there.
Oh, a tough spot. But Argentina's mentality in the first half was like, no, we want the ball. We don't want the ball. We want you to have it so we can foul you. Okay, here. Now we have the ball here. Take it back and we'll foul you again. Like, that's what it was. And they just fight and scrap and they're hateable, but somehow I've come around to thinking, damn, man, how do I find myself rooting for this Argentina team?
Also, how has there never been a female professional wrestler whose name is Argentina? It writes itself.
Okay. Do tell.
It should be. That would be great. WWE's trying to expand. They're hiring people from all over the world. They need Argentina.
I don't think anybody wants to be Argent.
We'll workshop it.
It's close enough.
Tina Argent?
No, that sounds way worse. It's Argentina. That would 100% be a 1980s
It sounds like a
wrestling.
stripper walk up the way that you just did that. Now coming to the stage,
Get those dollars
Argentina.
ready. You've got 3 songs before we bring out the specials. Everyone come down for 2 for 1 night. Starting us off, Argentina. God, I could do that job. That would be a fun job.
You look like somebody that does that job.
Oh, yeah. I could probably do every job there besides the stripping. You could
Sell yourself short.
I wouldn't put it past you.
I could be a bouncer. I could be a patron. I could be the DJ. I could be the guy that sweeps it up, mops it up.
We gotta go.
615-737-1045. Sargentina from the chat. How about that?
There you go. Okay, so she's
Sargentina.
They would make her like a guerrilla warfare rebel. It's like, oh, it's Sargentina.
A Falklands War from the Falklands War.
She's a
Sargentina.
All right,
You're welcome, WWE. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. We're going to play a little Greg Cosell analysis here in just a second, but I want to come back to something Lucas said within the context that we were talking about the World Cup, we were talking about Messi, we were talking about his career accomplishments. And, you know, it's probably as close to a Mount Rushmore as we've gotten. Did you see Bleacher Report is doing stuff like the Mount Rushmore for every pro sports city? I'm guilty. I clicked.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Like they're doing a Mount Rushmore for every pro sports city.
Oh, that's terrible. Who's on it?
For Nashville?
Yes.
You want to guess?
It's Eddie.
Steve. No, I'm sorry. Eddie's not on it.
Oh, Eddie George is not on there?
Steve is.
Okay. So Derek?
Derek.
Okay. Is there a Pred? Pekka?
Pekka.
Okay.
Hani?
No.
Disrespectful.
It is. It is. Titan?
Titan. It's CJ. It's
CJ.
not Eddie.
Oh, CJ 2K.
Okay. It's CJ over Eddie.
Of course. Yeah.
And I think that's okay.
Yeah, I think so. Like Steve, Eddie, legend. Steve also covers that era.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah. If you're going to pick one player from that era, it's
so Steve, Pekka, Derek, CJ.
3 running backs and a goalie.
2 running backs.
Yes. But we were talking about, you know, the accomplishments, the greatness of the greatness in sports, Tom Brady relative to Lionel Messi, relative to Michael Jordan, relative to LeBron James, Wayne Gretzky, all these things. So it's basically a Mount Rushmore without saying it. But you said something about Tom Brady and being elite at getting rid of the ball, right?
Yeah, self-preservation.
Self-preservation.
Longevity.
So the only Titans conversation that I have to have today is, and I think you were out doing BJ Callahan stuff yesterday when we brought this up, but I was talking about Cam. And I was talking about, he's the most sacked quarterback in football last year. Tom Brady, self-preservation, huge part of it. Cam Ward, what's one of the distinguishing moments of the quarterback, of the quarterback series?
I mean, I'm 1 episode in.
Right. But the distinguishing moment is him against the Broncos and him eating a sack on a play that on a play he called his own number and he ate a sack.
Yeah, and he, like, before the play, he's on the sideline saying, I can't take a sack, can't take a sack. Goes out there, takes a sack.
Took a sack.
And Bo Hardigree's, like, consoling him on the sideline after.
Well, and so we had brought this up. Robert had put in front of me Ben Solak's coach and player tandems that he was interested in. And it was Cam Ward and Dable and Saleh. 2 of the 8 were Titans. It's Saleh and Simmons and Dable and Cam. And I said, or Solak's analysis, Lucas, about the Cam stuff was he's clearly not being coached to run, and Dable will get him to run or will coach him to run. And I pushed back on that immediately. I said, no, I talk to his coaches every week. Talk to his position coach. Talk to Bo Hardigree about what they're doing to show Cam opportunities to run. He just doesn't do it. That's not a part of his game. It's maybe he will grow into it. I don't know. Maybe he's capable of it, more capable of it than we realize. But the analysis was incorrect because he was being coached on it. He just didn't do it. His thing is that he's running away. He's trying to extend the play. Occasionally he'll have a big play. Okay, more often than not, he eats a sack. Half of those 55 sacks last year, he said, that's on me. Do you know how many sacks Caleb Williams took in his rookie year? Because I'm looking at this top 10 list.
How many?
You want to take a guess?
How many Cam take?
55.
62.
68.
Oh.
You know how many he took last year?
59.
13. That's Cam's thing, right? That's Cam. Okay, you can do the superhero stuff, but when the moment calls for it and not much more else.
Yeah, that's a crazy drop-off.
I feel like you can credit Caleb Williams for some of that.
No, you can, some.
But they made a huge investment into the offensive line, bringing in 3 new starters at I think both guard spots and center. And
I'm sorry, I misread it. It's 13 interceptions. It's 24 sacks. But 68 to 24 is still a huge drop.
It's by a third, basically. Yeah. But Ben Johnson probably also helped that a ton with play calling to help minimize opportunities where Caleb would be. And I don't want to take anything away from Caleb because he lost. I don't know if you guys saw this on the ESPYs last night. His nuts play to Colston Loveland.
Against the Rams.
Ended up being second to OG's
Big night for the Hoosiers, by the way. Fernando Mendoza, college player of the year. OG wins best player of the year.
All right,
Huge night for the Hoosiers.
Act like you've been there before. It'll happen.
I mean, I have. I'm a national champion.
God, I can't. When does college basketball start? Is DeVries still there?
Tucker.
Did he? I heard he was transferring to DeVry University.
The son is gone. Thank God the coach is still there for now.
He doesn't have any more children that he could nepo into the starting lineup to jack up threes while they're losing to a god-awful Northwestern.
I'm sure they'll give Tucker Botox and send it out there like this is the younger son.
This is what's his name? Tucker. This is Rucker DeVries.
I'm going to be so mad when they start playing. They started playing basketball again last night. They're playing Canada. They've got some like Team USA thing that they're doing in Assembly Hall. It's weird. They were in Team USA uniforms. I don't know what the context of it was. But anyway, that to me, that just popped out to me when you were talking about Brady. And then I remembered the drop, 68-24 year over year for Caleb Williams. If Cam has a successful season, it's because he is either protecting himself better or he is being better protected. And that's my biggest fear for this season is that offensive line. Because he is not getting the help that Caleb Williams got year over year up front. Anyway, Cosell analysis. Speaking of things that impact the quarterback, defensive interior defensive lineman, most important position in the NFL right now based on the evolution. Here's Cosell talking about some players that will impact that way in the college game. Let's get to some of these prospects that you've been watching. Will Eccles at Ole Miss is one of the first guys who comes up when you talk about the top prospects to watch at this interior defensive line group in 2026. The Ole Miss defensive line across the board features to be a fun watch, but what stands out about Will Eccles specifically, Greg?
Yeah, I thought Eccles was just for a man that size, and I don't have the exact, heights and weights, obviously, till we get to the combine.
What NFL, so Dane Brugler has some NFL scouting stuff out right now, and he's got NFL sources giving heights and weights that they have on players. For Will Eccles, right now, 6'2", 309.
There you go. I'll take a look at that myself, but you're dealing with a guy that is, I talked about their better athletes, that he is first step explosive. And he's got that secondary lateral quickness after the initial explosiveness. I thought he had calculated hand usage, which is very rare for a younger player. He's an inside disruptor. I mean, his quickness and suddenness is not something you often see from D tackles. And there's a power element to his game as well at the point of attack. I mean, he showed the play strength to control and displace offensive linemen and to stalemate double teams and even defeat them at times. I mean, just again, based on his 2025 tape, and obviously he has another year to play, let's assume good things. You're looking at a guy that is somewhat prototypical. We're not at the point where we have to make lists, or I don't do that, as you know. Sure. I'm sure some people do. But, just based on his 2025 tape, he's going to be viewed as a top prospect.
Yeah, for the audience's edification, I'm just bouncing around here. I'm tossing names up to Greg, and Greg's knocking the analysis out of the park. This is not a list of any kind or any particular order. Just a number of names for your people to watch ahead of the college football season and then to be reminded about once we get closer to draft time. David Stone at Oklahoma, Greg, is another player.
Another guy. And again, the SEC, has a lot of guys. Obviously, they always do. Another guy that, he showed that strong combination of strength and power in the run game where he could control and displace O linemen. And he showed that sudden quickness and explosiveness, to make plays outside of the box, which you often don't see from D tackles. There were times he showed really powerful hand usage. He looked like a player based on tape that could play both one gap, which is attacking gaps right off the ball, with quickness, and the strength and power to play two gap, where you pretty much attack the center of an offensive lineman and then work off that. Again, you're dealing with a guy that, he also played snaps at D end in Oklahoma's defense. Now, that's probably not going to happen in the NFL, but, another guy who's, I don't want to say he and Eccles are exactly the same, but the traits are somewhat similar. They bring, similar attributes to the table, and And again, you're also dealing with guys that, these were big time recruits. I mean, Stone came out of IMG Academy, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. He was a consensus 5-star recruit and a top 30 prospect in the nation, regardless of position. So, you're dealing with guys that are just really high level prospects.
Again, another high-level prospect. And for what it's worth, all three of these names that I'm bringing up with Greg are currently draft-eligible underclassmen. There are some guys who can come out and will graduate as well, but these are three.
Oregon has everybody back on their D-line, which is very rare in college football.
Yeah, it's Clemson and Oregon, I feel like, do that on a pretty routine basis. We know that Miami...
They got two defensive tackles at Oregon. They got Amari Washington, who's another guy that's very similar to what I just said, in terms of being able to do both. I mean, these guys, I'm just blown away, and I've been doing this for a long time, as you know. I'm just blown away by the athleticism of these guys. I mean, Washington from Oregon, another guy. I'm sure Dane has numbers for him as well. You could check his height and weight, but he's another guy that's explosive as a one-gap penetrator. He played two-gap with that strength to control and displace. This guy's another guy that at times showed an elite traits profile. And then the guy next to him, Bear Alexander, who was a big-time 5-star. I think this is his third school. But he's a big-time run defender. I mean, he's I don't want to say he's exactly the same as Cade McDonald, who came out of Ohio State this past year, that the Houston Texans drafted early in the second round. But Bear Alexander has a lot of those plays where he just eats up interior O linemen and just tosses them aside and makes tackles in the run game. It's a pretty remarkable group. I mean, we could go on and on and on, and we don't need to go through, a ton of guys right now. But the larger point is it's a really, really good group. And that's also going to impact the NFL. Think of it this way. Think of a team like the Eagles that has Jalen Carter. Carter's been injured a lot the last couple of years. I don't know anything about his off the field stuff. I know he's had issues. I don't know those. So, does a team like the Eagles, not pay Jalen Carter because now they look at this defensive tackle group coming up, in 2027 and feel like, we can get a guy, and we know that Jalen Carter at his best is probably a top 3 or 4 D tackle in the league. But, it's these are what teams think about, as they all look ahead to probably 2 drafts down the road, and we'll see how it plays out. But it is, I'm telling you, the position has really increased in importance. And maybe if anybody takes away something from our conversation, that's the point. Obviously different people can evaluate players differently. We get all that. I mean, I'm telling you my evaluation based on the 2025 tape. And you mentioned Miami. They got 2 guys in Justin Scott and Ahmad Moten, so and there's others as well, but the point is this position's become really important in the NFL. It's not just, it's okay. It's really important.
6'3", 319 on Washington. Bear Alexander, 6'3", 311 is what Dane
there you go.
has listed. Size, length, explosiveness for a couple of big men. You mentioned the athleticism.
These guys are the same height I am, and they weigh 100 pounds more. That's crazy.
It's definitely crazy if you're a quarterback looking across the defensive line of some of these. So if you want to hear any more of the install, the latest episode of the podcast before training camp right around the corner, you can find that in your favorite podcast feed. Robert and Krull also have it available on YouTube, if you are so inclined. So subscribe to the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel. If we reach 20,000 subscribers, Robert's going to ride a unicycle.
No, don't bring this back. That was a time-sensitive thing. We have been sitting at 19K, 0.5, 0.6 for 6 months. The unicycle is off the board.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not riding it.
Why?
Because I'm going to get hurt, and there is no safe place to ride it.
I'd like it to be a hill.
I think I would hurt myself more in a flat space.
Just go to get on the thing and just flip out from under you like Lucy and Charlie Brown style.
There's 0% chance that I would be getting on. I would get on if you could give me 2 wheels, I don't know, what would that be called? Like a uni is one, so like a bicycle. You could get me on a bicycle, I'd do it. Or even what would 3 wheels be? Tricycle. Or what would 4 wheels be?
I think less of the people that ride the 3-wheeler motorcycles.
This is probably my biggest unpopular opinion. I think those things are badass.
It's because you want a sidecar.
You're never going to wreck them ever. What is the one thing every motorcycle rider tells you before you become a motorcycle rider yourself? If you get on one, you are going to wreck.
Yeah.
You are going to fall. You are going to crash at some point. No one ever in the history of Everdom has wrecked a Spider. The 3-wheeled motorcycles that you're alluding to.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that? I wouldn't. I sure as hell wouldn't wreck a Spider. You ain't gonna have
would just get wrecked.
Yeah. Somebody would. Hold on.
You like that one, did you?
It wasn't bad. Hold on. They are so stinking cool. They are so stinking cool.
The Spiders?
Yes. Look up the 2024 Can-Am Spider RT 3-wheel touring motorcycle.
Slow down. Spider?
SPYDER.
Yes, I know.
So while
That's not cool.
That's cool as hell.
No.
It's like the equivalent of those minivans
This
where the
thing is
seats in the back
ugly
seat
as
turned
sin.
around. Dude, how much is it? Get Two Rivers Ford have these? How much would it be a month? Because how badass would I look pulling into work?
Oh, they're only $26,000.
Shut up.
That's what it says.
Shut up.
26.
It can range from 22 to 28.
Okay, hold on.
That's a lot less expensive than I thought it would be.
Hold on. Ramon, I guarantee you, if Ramon is listening, Ramon knows someone who knows a business who, oh my God, you can get one of them for $8K.
So are those technically tricycles?
Yes.
Yes, 3 wheels.
Because I saw during the group stage of the World Cup, there was a note about a Czech midfielder that had missed all of the European Championship in 2024 due to a tricycle accident. And the comedy of that being an update on a player, I thought to be fantastic. And I thought, but surely it's one of those 3-wheeled motorcycles. But I just pictured him on like a cartoonish tricycle just taking a tumble.
Yeah.
How far is Lenore from here? Lenore City.
I'm unfamiliar.
Oh, that's in East Tennessee. That's a few hours.
$6,700 I can get one from 2008. Yeah. Dude, I want one of these.
What does a 2008 Spider look like? Hopefully less ugly than this.
It looks like Oakley's from back then. Like if Oakley sunglasses had wheels.
You want to be Oakley sunglasses with wheels? That's what you aspire to be?
I want to be PC Principal, dude. Roll in here PC Principal style with Born on the Bayou blasting.
See, I think that's much less ugly than the 2024 one you were looking at.
We got to go.
All right. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
The guaranteed offer is the simplest, least stressful way to sell your home. You go to our website, you fill out a quick form, we set an appointment, we bring you an all-cash offer. Literally, there's no lockbox on the front of your house, there's no showings, we pay all cash, we close in as little as 21 days, stress-free. We've helped thousands of homeowners just like you sell your home the hassle-free way with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate.
Buddy, you know it's not Friday, right?
Crap.
I mean, I know it feels like a Friday.
It does.
We got bowling tonight. We've got just a marathon of a weekend. Just an absolute marathon of a weekend ahead, which is great. And we're looking forward to the audience being a part of it tonight. That split happens. Lucas has a wedding tomorrow.
Ooh.
At the Skirmerhorn Symphony Center.
It is a stroker of a wedding. You don't get a +1, do you?
I do, but Megan's not going to make it down. She's working.
Yeah, but I could go.
Her name was on the invite. Do you want to be Megan Coffin?
Do you have a tux?
Do I have a tux?
I've seen your suit with your tie that comes up to your nipples.
No, dude.
Or I guess comes down to your nipples.
I did not have the most embarrassing tie yesterday. Did anyone else see?
Yesterday.
Did anyone else see?
No, don't do this.
Did anyone else see on the Hermitage Fight Club report? The guy that for News Channel 2 or whoever, his tie is so stinking long.
Where?
You talk about my tie coming to my nipples. That guy's tie goes down to his knees. Look up the report that you put in the chat the day after. That guy's tie, I don't even know if he's an MMJ or if he's like an actual reporter for the news. I don't unfortunately watch the news, so I don't really keep up with what the roster looks like over there. But his tie is so stinking long.
When did I send this in? This had to be a couple days ago.
I think it was on Instagram where you sent it.
All right. On Instagram. Yeah. While I look for that, why don't you talk about the fact that the Germans are in Nashville?
Yeah. So
I'm gonna
not
Freddie, but the guy.
The other one.
Is it Flago? Like FLAGO?
Sure.
Yep.
Which Instagram group did I send it to?
They're on Broadway.
I think it was Big Chat.
The Big Chat? Okay.
They're on Broadway. And this guy, who is just Freddie's traveling buddy, tweeted a picture of Nissan Stadium from across the river.
Oh, no. That tie is absurd.
That
looks like a clown tie.
It is so long.
Who is this gentleman?
What sir, what is your name? Because I'm going to call him Long Tie Man until
they've done it. Andy Corden.
Andy.
Shout out Andy. Did some great reporting on that.
It's an excellent story. We need to work on the tie length thing.
So this Flago guy, FIA, it's FIAGO7. Anyway, he is Freddie's traveling buddy, and he posted a picture of Nissan Stadium, and he tweeted, "The Tennessee Titans NFL Stadium right at the bank of the Cumberland River has some aura, man. As a Titans fan, you can watch the game, cross the pedestrian bridge, and then celebrate the win on Broadway." And his comments are blowing up.
Wait, what is this? I'm sorry?
Freddie.
Yes.
Right? The German, traveling America that Robert hates.
Yes.
They're in Nashville.
Yes.
They're on Broadway. His friend from across the river posted a picture of Nissan Stadium talking about how cool it is for the stadium to be right across the pedestrian bridge.
Yeah.
And says, look at this. As a Titans fan, you can just watch the game, cross the pedestrian bridge, and celebrate the win on Broadway. And his comments are flooded with, "You must not know the Titans too well."
Oh, no.
Memes of Titans fans waiting on that win, and it's a skeleton in Titans gear.
They take more strays than
this guy's not intentional. And this guy,
I know. He's trying to be genuine.
This guy replied to one person, "Wait, they never win?"
Oh, no, he's not being. How
are you going to know?
Oh, they never win.
These guys don't know anything about American football.
Oh, you guys are being taken too easy on them.
No,
they know nothing about American football.
I'm not going to say that they know nothing, but if you had to pick a franchise for an international person to know absolutely nothing about, it's going to be the Tennessee Titans.
Well, wouldn't you think the team that you know absolutely nothing about might not be that good? Maybe if they were good, you would know something about them.
I bet
they know who the Patriots are. I bet they know who the Packers are.
Your anger is clouding. Your hate has clouded your judgment.
I want to go back and recant my tie dismissal to Andy Corden. I did not know that he cut his teeth in Greenville, North Carolina at the beginning of his career. He is a Pirate, and I take it back.
Oh, he's an ECU Pirate.
Oh, he's not. He did not graduate from ECU, but he cut his teeth.
Did Freddie eat Hattie B's today? That's what Tyler said in the chat.
Go ahead, say something about him now.
I didn't see that.
He's got good taste in chicken.
They do. That's good taste in chicken.
Robert, say one nice thing about Freddie LA7.
He ate it. Hattie B's today. Good job.
Yep.
He didn't go to any inferior chicken joints.
We will be at the Hattie B's Sunday. It's not even like a promotional station event.
Lucas literally looked at the two of us and said, "You want to go watch the World Cup final at Hattie B's?" And I said, "Yes."
What time is it?
2 p.m. Sunday.
Oh, fun.
Perfect.
Oh, that's the perfect time to get a little drink in.
Because I'm off Sunday. The two of you are going to host Monday.
East Nashville location on Gallatin. Great spot to watch a game.
And even Zach's going to be there. Even Carrot Top's going to be there with us.
Okay, very good.
Some of my friends will be there too. We'll get Theory Flea if anybody wants to meet him in person. At this point, he's basically a character on the show.
When Lucas tells you some of his friends are going to be there, he means 17 of them are going. No. Lucas probably has more friends than anybody I know.
That can't be true.
No, well, maybe because I'm not from here.
No, this is a local thing though. Like, because it seems to me that and understandably so, like people from here, they still travel in packs. Like if you went to Brentwood Academy, or if you went to Father Ryan, or if you went.
Go.
The Real Mike Jones on YouTube. The worst 3 hours of radio I've ever listened to.
See you Monday.
See you tomorrow, Mike.
That's right. We'll be back Monday.
Oh, dang it, it's Thursday.
Except it's Thursday.
We're trying to manifest this
We'll be
Friday
back
thing.
tomorrow. Maybe we just take tomorrow off. Maybe we let Carrot Top host the radio show.